Hey y'all, what's going on? I am here to do my recap and review for this week's episode of Married to Medicine. This is season 10, episode 6, Wine Country. Hi! I'm so annoying. But nonetheless, I am here to give you guys this video. This episode was, not bad. Married to Medicine still bringing it, but there's just been a lot of commentary going on offline. And if I have time, I would like to go over some of the clips that I came across down at the blogs because it's just been a lot. It's pretty divided right now. I see a lot of people either supporting Quad or not supporting Quad. That's pretty much where we are right now with it. Where's my, okay, it's right here. Cool. But nonetheless, I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad to be here. Hello to my good sis, Nola Reeds. Your phone is broke? What's going on? We need to talk. And hello, Janet. Thank you for coming through. Yes, I look like Mrs. Chocolate Claus or something. Something's going on right now. And I look very, very holiday-ish, if I do say so myself. And yeah, that's just what I felt like doing today. But yeah. Again, if you're just coming in, make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, check the description box below, make sure you share me with your people. Shout out to the replay gang as always. Let's keep the conversation going afterwards in the comments below. But without further ado, we're gonna hop right on into it if I can get my notes where I need them. And if you hear if y'all hear a little jingle, I got these the little yeah that's how we're coming right now. That's how we're coming right now. Ewan said on me earlier, I had nothing like. Wait, what? I can't with you. And actually, I can't with you because I'm still not off you getting kicked off of the live the other night. I need to know what you said because apparently they was not playing in that live. We know that usually like Carlos and Heavenly, like they always go live after the show. But the other night I believe it was Toya, Simone, Phaedra, and Heavenly up there. I didn't really catch all of it, but so I don't really know what was being said. But I mean, I'm never one to sit up here and try to windmill for anybody because I don't think anybody is above reproach. And in this situation, I think there's faults on both sides. But I can't sit here and lie to y'all. Like, I feel like the way that they being the quote unquote OGs, but it's really OGs plus Heavenly because I mean, technically speaking, she didn't come in until season 2. Nonetheless, like I don't know, I didn't really like how the energy was on this show, and I don't really like how everything is rolling out. And again, I'm not there. We're just the audience, like, so we don't necessarily 100% know, what all goes on because we are on the show. However, I don't know. It just didn't really make me feel that good seeing how it was all being like aligned and stuff like that. But we will get into it. Who else is in here? Did I miss? No, we just started. And thank you for coming on through it. Like, you've been on it, Denise, and I am so grateful that you are in here. I told them the truth and the Memphis blocked me. I mean, yeah, I'm sure you did tell them the truth, but some people just can't some people can't handle the truth. Some people can't handle the truth, y'all. So I guess that was just too much for them. I'm going to audition and my friend going to be Cecil. You corner, and we didn't even get into the full review yet. Anyway, so this episode was entitled Wine Country, and as I said before, the OGs plus Heavenly, just being specific here, they all met up to discuss this upcoming Napa trip. We know that Toya is releasing this wine collection, which, I mean, honestly, I'm not mad at. It's good to see her using her platform to, I know not everything in life is about money. And obviously they, I guess, have not been obviously lacking, because Eugene has been the primary breadwinner in the house since Toy's been on the show, right? But it's good to see her actually engulfed in something that she has always been very interested in. Yeah, so that's cool. But they all sit down to discuss the trip, and she being Toya, says it makes no sense to have Quad there because she's meeting with VPs and execs and all these, head honchos and important people. And she's really trying to paint things, the best image, and she wants to be represented in the most positive light possible, which is understandable. By all means, that's understandable. And we know that they have never saw it for each other. And I'm gonna say it one more time. They have not seen it for each other since, ever, Toya and Quad. So honestly, I could understand from that angle, but then you retrogress and say, and kind of pawn off the responsibility of having Quad there to Phaedra. So it was like, do you want her there? Do you not? I don't understand. If I'm not messing with nobody, if I'm not featuring somebody, if I don't like somebody, then they're not going to be around at all. Like, I'm not going to pawn off that responsibility to the next person, only to then be passive aggressive when that person comes around. Like, they just didn't need to be there from the get-go then. If that's the case, like, I don't have time for that. You have too much time on your hands. If you ask me, if you have time to sit around here and still have the person come around only to then be all shady and weird, like, whatever. Anyway, but I get it. Things didn't really go that great at the whole resurrection funeral home thing. So I understand. One second, y'all. I get it. However, what was I gonna say? Where did I leave off? Okay. I need to like make this larger because Toya feels like things are all key between them, but it's always going to be at the expense of her in the end. And I'm like, y'all have been doing that to each other for the last 10 years, if you ask me. Like, y'all sit around and throw shade and say backhanded comments to one another constantly. Like, I don't get it. But here we are once again. Moving right along. Next, then we see Heavenly. She's at home with Alora, and she, of course, is like, hey, come help me clean up. And when she comes in, she's all bundled up, and I'm like, what's going on here? But of course, we find out, and obviously, if you are on social media by now, we've known that she has been attending FAMU since this new school year, since September, whatever. But unbeknownst to Heavenly, she has gotten her acceptance letter, and yeah, she's like, at the end of the day, I just need you to support me. Like, just be there for me. And this just shows you guys that parental support is so important. Parental support is just, it can really make or break a situation. And I'm glad that although Heavenly can be super dramatic, although she can be doing a lot at times, I'm glad that she came around and knew that she needed to respect her child's decision. And she also is trying to follow, kind of in her footsteps, because Heavenly was also a bio major, and now Alora is going to be a bio major. And, I feel like that's the ultimate, I did a good job as a parent. I did a good job in life. If your child can look up to you and want to follow in your footsteps, I think that that's That's very commendable. So I'm glad that we could finally put that to rest. I don't want to hear no more about it, but I know we're going to, because I wonder if we see them like, no, I don't think they were still filming. I was like, I wonder if we see them like drop her off and stuff like that. Probably not, but that would have been cute. Moving right along, then we see the Whitmores. And by the Whitmores, I mean we see Simone, we see Cecil, and we see the boys. And I'm saying boys, even though by law, the law sees them both as adults. They're boys, because y'all already know. If you watch the show, y'all already know why I'm saying that. So they're viewing a potential investment property that is also going to double as the boys' new house. It's a condo. I think it was about 324K, something around there. Simone lets us know that she also was already thinking about getting an investment property this year. And I'm like, okay, I mean, if you say so, take a look at it. It looked pretty nice for the most part. However, the issue still remains constant, y'all. I don't think, I'm going to say, at least as it pertains to Miles, I don't think that, I really hope he learns, but I just don't have faith, y'all. I really just don't have faith. Profession is dragging her as a moving being fixed. That's a side note. Has anybody else except for me noticed that Toya, like, her bedroom has just been super bare? I don't know. Are they gearing up for another move? Because last week, or when I first noticed it in a couple episodes back, I was like, oh, she must just be in the guest room. Maybe they're like remodeling their master. But then when we saw her packing, I was like, that looks like we saw a glimpse into like the bathroom. And I mean, it could have been a guest room. I don't know. I've never been in that lady's house. However, it looks like, I don't know. It looks like that may be the master. And I'm trying to figure out where all the furniture's at. All I see is the bed and the TV. I don't even see no dresser. I don't see no stuff up on the walls. I don't see no area rugs. I don't see a recliner in the corner. I don't see none of that. So I'm kind of confused as to, but whatever. I'm gonna let sleeping dogs lie. So again, going back to Simone and Cecil, I don't think that they're not going to learn unless she holds true to enforcing said contract. But then when you have Miles over here talking about some, oh, well, I know the codes anyway. I don't get, there's something's not clicking there. Something's not. He's about to be 26. Like, why? I can't imagine wanting to live, with my parents beyond a certain age, because of course you're probably gonna have to live by their rules, right? So no, I can't imagine wanting to be in that environment. And I get it, like, if they paying all your bills, if they, breaking you off some money and stuff like that, like, I get it. But at some point, you should want to have that freedom that comes with being a adult out there on your own. But I don't know, something is really like weird with that. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. That's just and she lets them know that Miles has 1 year rent free and Michael has 2 years rent free. I hope she's ready to potentially still have to fund their lives, because she's really only on this whole thing by herself, if you ask me. She doesn't really have the support of Cecil, because every time the camera pans over to him, he's making light of the situation and kikiing and giggling and stuff like that. So I don't think he really sees the issue. And they really, this I don't have kids, y'all, but this, I feel like, is important to the point that they need to be a united front on this. And it's only just going to be words thrown out there and no action if he doesn't support her in this. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Then, like I said before, we see Toya Eugene. She's packing. He brings in some wine, of course, which I can't even be mad at this point because that's literally her profession at this point. Like this literally, she's an entrepreneur. That's her business is all about the wine. So I can't even throw no shade there. But Eugene's whole thing is he don't really feel comfortable with Quad being there because it's always some ish, or as he says, it's always a powder, or Quad represents a powder keg. And I'm like, I know a lot happened between not only just Toya, but also Toya and Eugene and Quad last year. I get that. However, your wife do be playing a part sometimes. I'm not going to sit here and look at the screen and not say that. Like, your wife definitely plays a part a lot of the time. But who am I? And at this point, Toya's like, I said my piece. It's really on her to own her ish. Otherwise, she can set her sights on rectifying the relationships that she has with the other ladies in the group. And I'm like, okay, I mean, again, then why are you pawning off the responsibility of her being there to Phaedra then? I don't get that. I don't know what it is, but I'm just glad that I ain't the only one to notice it, because some other people on Twitter said the same thing. So I was like, it just looks a lot. Y'all know how extra Toya be with stuff. And she actually even made a joke talking about next she's going to be designing houses. And honestly, putting everything else to the side right now, I actually think that would be good for her. They move so much that, I mean, why not get paid? She has a lot of experience, so she might as well. You might as well get your real estate license at this point, if you ask me. Like, hey, I'm all about multiple streams of income. That's it. Yeah, okay, so we're all on the same page. That's good to know, because I'm like, well, it just looks too blank. I don't know, very cold and sterile. Eugene needs to look at his wife. She started this whole thing. I wish we could do like a watch along, I'm not trying to have Bravo come and freaking get my channel taken or nothing like that. I wish we could do like a watch along, because honestly, I've been saying it for the past 18 minutes and 50 seconds that things have been hurled from one side and the other. And Toya definitely played a huge hand in that from the get-go. So fast forward, it's the day of the trip, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I hollered when Heavenly was like, oh, hey, Alicia. And it was actually Simone. Like, I definitely hollered at that moment, because, Heavenly, that's her main role, is to, one, be like an agent of chaos, if you ask me, because she does share little tidbits of her life. However, it's always going to be the positive stuff. I don't think that she's ever going to sit here and really divulge any of, the less than favorable things that may occur in her life. And I say that knowing that we all have things that go on in our lives at times. Nobody's life is perfect. So she is either doing that, or she's being Age of Chaos, or she is there to provide humor. So Toya, Toya really, like, I don't know, she was like being such a mean girl for me this episode. Is it just me? Like, and that's not me sitting here saying, like, oh my God, protect Quad by all means. Like, oh my God, Quad can do no wrong. Like, that's not what I'm saying, y'all. But I feel like they all weren't being completely 100% truthful, and they all were acting like Quad was wrong for saying that, you know, thing. I mean, we could start. This is a clean slate. This is not me coming up to kiss y'all's feet and act like I was the only one doing stuff. Like, it works both ways. Eugene and Toya are looking in the interviews. They need to stop taking that diet drug Dr. Jackie got them on. Which Ozempic? Are we talking about Ozempic? I can't. I mean, I think they both actually look pretty decent. I can't say that's something I could never shade specifically Toya on. She looks good. Like, the ladies be looking good. Very, very much so. And Eugene says he's got more energy, like he's feeling better, whatever. So health is wealth. If they're both feeling good, and you know, I mean, I can't be mad at that, but it definitely is recognizable if you ask me. So we are now on the bus, and before we know it, we're back talking about Quad. And at some point, I know Quad had said that she was only going to be in like 2 more episodes. So, and 2 more being, or 1 more being this episode that we're talking about right now. But I want to know what else is going to be talked about after that, because if that's the case, then I'm not really seeing a whole boatload of other stuff to really talk about then, because everybody is making Quad a part of their storyline at this point. Are we going to keep talking about the Heavenly and Sweet Tea, Letitia stuff? Like, they're married. What is there really to say about it at this point? We're just going to sit here and watch what occurs and, you know, how their marriage goes from here on out. Jackie don't really got much going on except for being, you know, a legit doctor. Simone is going to continue to try to kick out her sons. Then that's kind of old at this point, because we got to wait a year to see what happens. Who else? Phaedra. And that's actually one of the clips I want to play, because I actually agree with Carlos for once in my life right now. Phaedra has bought, it's episode 6. Phaedra hasn't really brought, actually scratch that. I'm not going to say the word really. Phaedra hasn't brought anything to the show yet except to orchestrate all of what we're seeing unfold in the past 6 episodes. She hasn't actually added any substance to the show. And that is why I don't understand why people constantly, for the last how many years has it been since she's been off of Atlanta? At least what, like 6 now, right? At least she doesn't have anything to talk about, yet people constantly and consistently this whole time keep begging for her to be on our screens in some fashion or another. And I don't know why, because there's no point. She's not doing anything. She's not bringing anything to us. And we've already seen her character. We already know how she is underneath it all. So really, why are we even doing this with her right now? I don't know. But I digress. Anyway. But no, while we're at it, who else was I talking about? Who else is on here? So I know she's only a friend, but Dr. Alicia, we got maybe we get like one more word from her with each episode. So I think we're about up to maybe like 4 words this episode from her. So, but I did see in the clip for next week or whatever that I guess we're going to start to kind of dive into her story. And actually, I'll eat my words just a little bit here. I know that there's going to be something occurring between Jackie and her. So, I mean, that kind of interesting. Okay, we'll see how that goes. So really, what more do we really have to talk about at this point? If y'all are not just going to keep talking about Quad, like, then that means that y'all have to actually work. Y'all have to actually bring something. And by no means, y'all, I'm kind of getting on a tangent and getting away, but anyway, just bear with me. I'm not saying this to shade the show. Obviously, I'm super interested in the show because I've never covered the show before, but I really, really do like this show. So by no means am I saying like, oh, like they ain't got absolutely nothing going on. However, we're not going to sit here and say that Quad doesn't fill a role. However, at this point in time, 2 things can be correct at once. 2 things can be true at once. Quad also, if they're not trying to make room for you and actually fully bring you into the fold, and if it's just going to be like this every single time, then at the same time, it's not that enjoyable, if you ask me. And maybe it is time to move on, but that's not because of, I don't agree with the reasons that they're saying. I just think it's sometimes, there's different seasons. And maybe this season is over for her for that, because clearly they're not welcoming you into the fold anymore. And if you don't want to be there at the same time, that's also understandable too. And yeah, that's just where we're at with that part. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling on about that, y'all. Before we know it, Heavenly has to bring up the wedding and how she wanted to celebrate or be present for the wedding and celebrate, their union. And she's just like, pump the brakes on that. Like, that's not even the case, because you were saying something totally different prior to that. And I'm just like, first of all, Heavenly, you need to stop trying to age shame people all the time, because that's not even cute, if you ask me. And again, they're married. So at this point, there's really no point in even saying anything. If you believe that they shouldn't be married, if you believe that it's not really going to be a lasting marriage, then just let it rock. It's gonna do what it's gonna do then, if that's the case. But there's no reason to even keep commenting on it, especially because you're not always the best message carrier. You don't always say it in the best way. So no, I wouldn't really think that you were happy for me either, given how you've been saying the things you've been saying and the way that you've been saying everything for the last couple of episodes. If I was Sweetie, I would be looking at you crazy too. Like, no, you're not really. What? Get out of here. But Heavenly does try to apologize, or she truly apologizes from the bottom of her heart and says that, she obviously, if she was hurt and she hurt her, and, she apologizes for that. And Sweetie's like, it's cool, whatever, just be there for me. However, at the same time, I'm not about to confide in you no more. And I was like, I can't really be mad at her for that either. But I'm also looking at you, Sweetie, like, you need to stop being so naive, and you need to know that none of these women are really your friend. And I don't know why that wasn't already in the back of your mind coming onto the show, that you should probably have your guard up just a little bit until they know-ish prove to be down for you for real. because at one point in time, these are women that considered themselves to be friends with your new husband's ex-wife. And you've also seen, this is a reality show. You know how we all know by now how reality shows work. And you should know that there always is going to be, at minimum, an ounce of mess interwoven into everything that happens on said reality shows. So yeah, I can't really feel too bad for her at her age. No one was forcing her to get married. No one was saying anything other than how we see it, and how we see it is a lot based on how Quad and him were and the things that we saw transpire in their marriage. So, like I've said before, the game hasn't really changed. The players have. You can do a watch long. Just yeah. That's true. That's true. Ooh. I don't like the way they are treating Claude. If they didn't want her to come, that's what I keep saying. At the end of the day, if you did not want her there, then don't be like, oh, well, Phaedra can invite her then, just to sit there and be like, we didn't get you a room. Why is she here at the table? Awkward silence. If that's just how it's going to be, then what is the point? Because it doesn't make it an enjoyable show for us as viewers then, because it's like, why are we even doing this? So stupid. Heavenly, yeah, she did tell her the truth, but at this point, she clearly let us know that she doesn't want to hear it. So she needs to drop it, but that's never been in Heavenly's, repertoire. Hey, Feisty. How are you doing today? It's good to see you. Heavenly was really acting. She didn't understand why she was taken off the guest list. Because if somebody would have said those same things in the same way about her 20, however many years ago, when she got married, it would have been a problem. But, oh, wait, let me be quiet. Daddy don't do no wrong. Whew. Hey, Kimmy. I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't like when they do that. It's either we're here to film a show or we're not. And also, we need to stop acting like we don't understand at the end of the day why she's even here. Going back to the whole bachelorette party and stuff like that. She being Quad was obviously going to be there because she's a part of the show. So don't be all like, oh, why is she here? Every single time she pops up, if you know that she is a part of the show, at some point she's going to pop up. Like, why are we sitting? Are we really about to sit here and have this conversation? Anyway, they finally roll up to the vineyard. It looked really cute. I am like, oh, I'm so pressed to go to Napa and go up there because honestly, and this sounds probably gonna sound crazy, y'all, I have not been above LA, and I've spent most of my 20s in California, in Southern California, but I've never been to Northern California. I have not. And I was low-key kind of jealous. I was like, I wish I was there too. But it looked really nice. And when they all go in the room, Toya lets all of them know that her and Simone are going to be sharing one suite. Jackie and Heavenly are going to be sharing another suite. And then the rest of the ladies, at this point in time, the rest of the ladies being Phaedra, Alicia, and Sweet Tea are all going to be rooming alone. So I'm like, okay, math or whatever. And she's like, oh, yeah, I didn't think to get Quad a room because I didn't even know she was coming. And I'm just like, I don't get, it's one thing not to go out of your way for somebody to be like super nice or super like extra and be all fake, because that would be fake. But it's another thing to sit here and go out of your way to be just like nasty or whatever, especially when you're the one that said this is supposed to be a very important business trip. Why would you then why would you act like that then, Toya? Like, because then if Quad came in there going off and making scenes and causing all of a ruckus, then it would have been a problem. You indirectly invited her on a trip, but then don't like, I couldn't play like that. And stuff like that will get you canceled out of my life, like for real, like through and through. However, at the same time, I would never even be in this situation in the get-go. So it's whatever, because I don't occupy spaces that I'm not wanted, but whatever. So once she divvied up the rooms and all of that, they're like, like, well, okay, well, where's Quad gonna stay then? And Simone's like, absolutely not. She's not coming in here. On behalf of Jackie, Heavenly's like, no, I'm just gonna speak for Jackie right now. She's not gonna want that. And they even then texted Jackie and she was like, yeah, no, very long drawn out. Phaedra's like, no. And so then by default, obviously we're not gonna put her with Sweet Tea. So then by default, who do we turn to? The new girl. Hey, Dr. Alicia. So is it cool if we put Quad in there with you? And she was like, I don't mind. And if I was her, I'd be like, no. Like, what? Because one, like, no, like, first of all, we all grown. Like, no, I want my own room. Like, you guys can stay over there. I'm good. I would have been like, no, like, you're not just gonna pawn that off to me because y'all don't want to deal with it. Like, y'all need to get your stuff straight. No. But if she doesn't want to speak up for herself, then that's on her. Or maybe she did. Maybe she really didn't mind. But I don't believe so. But then again, she was just happy to be there in general. She was just happy to be child free in general. And I think that's a part of what we're going to see with her to come, is that she's kind of been a 24/7 mom for quite a bit now. I did go on her Instagram a couple weeks ago, and she has young kids. I believe she just turned 40. Her husband's like 38, but they're both dentists. However, from what I saw, he's never really been too hands-on with the kids for real, at least without her being there. So I'm actually looking forward to getting into that. But that's why she probably was just at the end of the day, like, I'm just happy to be here, child. Like, I don't even care. Like, you could put me on the couch and I'll be fine. Maybe that's how she is. Or maybe she's a go with the flow person. I don't know. But nonetheless, Quad is going to be in there with her. So once that's all said and done, they hop on bikes, and Alicia's kickstand was still down, but that was cute. I'm like, yeah, I definitely need to take a trip up there because I'm like down for all that. We have wine. We have our own wine country down here that I actually got a little inebriated last 2 weeks ago at. Anyway, so sometimes we do go there. There's like literally, I don't, how long is that road? It's definitely several miles long, and there is so many wineries up there, and we like going up there, but I really want to go to Napa. Anyway, I hope y'all can't hear my stomach growling because I'm about to definitely eat after this. I need to do my Potomac review 2, and I have a lot to say about that show as well after this. But before I do that, I'm gonna have to eat something because y'all gonna be like, girl, your stomach is singing to us. Like, calm down. Anyway, so at this point, they're all getting massages. Toya set up some really nice like massage area outside, which I thought was cute. Nice touch. I'm all about the details. And Sweet Tea lets us know that she was in her room. She just had to let Gregory know what was said about him on the bus by Heavenly. And she says that she'll let him know because at the end of the day, that's his dentist. And he needs to know how she was, shading him. And I'm gonna ask all this right now. Like, do you guys think that was necessary for Sweet Tea to ask, or not ask? Do you guys think that it was necessary for Sweet Tea to let Gregory know that, or do you think that was like girl talk? Like, why are you telling him everything that we talk about? Like, what do you guys think about that? They all can. Everybody on the wait. Can you specify who they all is? And I know I'm kind of behind on the comments, but I need to know who you're talking about. T should have been asked to leave from the Napa trip. I need to keep up with the comments because now I'm confused. When we go in Napa, No, I've been, like I said, I've been putting it off for a long time, and it's happening. It's definitely happening. She knew Quad had a room. She did all that just to say no one wanted to room with you. That's what I mean. Like it was just like, why are you being like that? Just, I'd rather you not say anything at all. Oh my gosh, y'all. And y'all, please don't come through the screen and punch me in the face. But I can't even believe I'm about to say this. This is actually one point in time that I actually wish that Toya would. It's actually, I can't even believe I'm about to say this. I actually wish that Toya would take the Giselle route and just sit there and not say anything at all. Like, I wish she would have did that. If that's how you feel, if you don't truly like her, if you don't at this point in time wish to move forward with her until she owns her ish or whatever, then act like she not there then. Instead of being all like, what's the point of that? Okay, Kimmy says it wasn't necessary at all. Okay, I just needed to ask that because I was just like, or at minimum, wait until you get home. It wasn't like she had to be like, yeah, so we was on a bus, right? And Heavenly said that you was an old Ann. Like, who even cares? Like, first of all, you need to be, and I get y'all as newlyweds, but ask Nola. When I'm on a girls trip, I'm on a girls trip. Like, I'm not the one that's gonna be, I miss you so much. Oh my God, can you believe what they said? And I get it's kind of different because they're all couples. This is a whole like social group with the spouses involved. And I get that. But like, just put the phone down. I don't see why you needed to make that a whole separate, like, who cares? Like, he is old and you are young anyway. Like, and that was not me trying to be age shaming or anything like that. But yes, there is a 20. How big is their age gap again? Like, come on now. Like, I don't feel like that was anything that was like, oh my God, you said the worst thing ever. Like, come on now. Whatever. Anyway. So spa treatment. Oh, another question, y'all. So would y'all, because directly following that comment in her confessional, Toya was like, yeah, I don't even know why that's Heavenly's your dentist. Like, Eugene and I don't even use Heavenly. So if y'all were Toya and Eugene, would you guys use Heavenly as your dentist? Let me know. Let me know. And again, going back to what I said before, Sweet Tea is not reading the room correctly when it comes to these women on the show, because when she's walking away from the massages and stuff like that, she's like, I ain't love hanging out with you to Simone. And I'm just like, it's just annoying. It's just annoying to watch people who just be naive. Ugh, it's just exhausting. Y'all, then we finally see Quad in all her fluorescent realness. She seemingly, and this is coming from somebody that, again, is not trying to really take one side versus the other necessarily. I'm just trying to call things like I see it. She came onto the scene and, you know, she wasn't trying to be on any type of drama. She seemed to be optimistic. She was like, you know, I'm looking forward to supporting Toya. Like, I'm glad to be here. Da 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 da. I'm just, at this point in time, I'm gonna take it for face value and for what we see, because at this point in time, I will say she hasn't been saying one thing in a confessional or behind the scenes really, and then presenting another thing. She's been saying pretty much the same thing and presenting herself to be the same person in front of the screen. Unlike people like Jackie, I'll use for example, that clearly have a thorn in their side as it pertains to Quad. And I said this earlier in the comments on Bondi's video, shout out to Bondi Blue, that Jackie clearly has a thorn in her side, and she keeps trying to act like it's all about the fact that Quad hasn't reached out, when in reality, I don't feel like that's the case. And I feel like it's because apparently, and we'll get into some, hopefully if I got time, we'll get into the clips. Apparently, no, that's not the case. It's because production, being the messy people that they can be at a lot of times, they let the cat out the bag and let all the other ladies, I guess, know about the things that Quad was saying when she was negotiating her contract and stuff like that. And that got back to them. And that's probably why Jackie was actually mad, and not really because she wasn't reaching out. Because at that point, if I was her and I felt shaded per se, because why are you bringing me up when you're negotiating contracts, then I would probably not want to hear from you too. So no, you probably only wanted to hear from her to make a moment, or to then ask her why she was bringing this up from the get-go, why she was bringing up your name in the negotiation room. Okay, yeah, they got this is the age gap, so yeah, then he be considered old and you be considered young, like. Whatever. So when he was don't paint that picture in my head. Oh, like, yeah, I can't. I still can't get past the man's voice, so I don't even see why. But never mind, y'all. She can give him what wants, so we're just gonna. Thus giving Quad a lawsuit if she chooses, because that's so. Yeah, that's another thing. You know how fast I would be suing. I'll be suing so fast. Oh my God, I'll be suing so fast. That's a great point. Thank you. So, she walks in, she got her bags, everything is, cool, whatever. And literally, as soon as she crosses the threshold, pretty much, which Sweet Tea opened the door, which I was like, of all people, she opened the door. Toya, and I don't know if anybody else caught this, she was like, oh, you don't have to bring your luggage. And I'm just like, well, like, why was that even? And she just like kind of had this like, yeah, why are you here space? And I'm just like, what is the point of this? Like, why have somebody come if, I'm not going to keep saying that to y'all though, because I keep saying it and obviously we're not going to get an answer. So once Quad enters, that happens, and Toya is being super passive aggressive, in my opinion. And they have kind of an exchange about how Toya didn't get her room because she didn't really know she was coming. But I made some phone calls or whatever, and Quad did, she tried to keep it cute. She did try to play it cute, and she was like, oh, well, I have my own money at the end of the day. Like, I could get my own stuff. Like, that's not a problem. And Toya's like, no, like, Toya wants her around to, I feel like, keep this going, if you ask me. But nothing really transpires from that moment. It really all transpires once we get to dinner. But before we can even do that, Phaedra and Jackie finally show up. And going back to what I said before, Jackie, what? Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. My computer was like typing for itself or something. Oh, where am I at? So yeah, once Quad goes to her room, which is apparently right across the hall, or no, I'm not gonna say right across the hall. Toya, like, she was just making everything like icky. Like, she was just bringing everything like, why are you talking like this? Like, why are you being like this? She's like, yeah, you can go out there and there's some signs and it'll like that. People like that, talking to me like that, being like that, are bad for my nerves and will make me want to come out of my character. So I choose not to be around people that act like that. So Quad is better than me. And I mean, at this point, I don't even think it's about her being better than me. It's about collecting that check. And I can't be mad at her for that. I respect that. So more power to her in this scene. But once she exits, Toya tells us, or Simone tells us, how she plans to address Quad later at the dinner about everything, because she also has said thorn still in her side about everything. And when I say address, I should actually more so say ambush. If you ask me, it was more so an ambush, because she didn't want Quad to be aware that this was going to be happening. She kind of just wanted everybody to be there and just like spring it on her. And I thought that was kind of messed up and can be viewed as ganging up on a person, because if the tables were turned, you wouldn't like that if somebody did that to you. So at the same time, everybody has their own individual like qualms with her. So if anything, I would have rather Simone went and knocked on her door and they could have had a one-on-one, rather than getting everybody around the table, knowing how Heavenly can be with her mouth, and also Heavenly being someone that continues to try to say that Quad is her little sister or whatever. But then even besides this, y'all, we know that Heavenly's always been a person that likes to get on here and have word vomit and ramble on and say things that are not very sister-like about said sister. So save that. She's gonna be at the table. Sweet Pea's gonna be at the table, which is Quad's ex-husband's new wife, who they don't have a concrete issue right now, but why introduce this topic in front of her? There's Toya at the table, who daggers in her eyes at all times for Quad. You already know how they are when it comes to one another. Jackie has thorn in her side. And at this point in time, Phaedra also has thorn in her side. So everybody has thorns in their sides as it pertains to Quad in this moment in time. Yet Simone still thinks it's a good idea to ambush her with this conversation. I just wanted to throw that out there to y'all. Hey, sis. Hi. Yes, y'all like the video. Wait, no, nobody told me they loved me. No, I'm just kidding. What time is it? Because I still got it to. If I have time, I surely will. If you want me to, I will. For a spell, I will. If you're interested. Let me just get past this last point and then I'll do it. So again, after that whole thing happens, Phaedra and Jackie finally show up, and apparently Phaedra was supposed to be on the same flight as Quad, but somehow she says that she either like didn't know when her flight was, something about her son's birthday, You know, Phaedra-isms. Phaedra, you know, she's just very, she's never going to just come out and say anything. she's never going to own her stuff. This is the same lady that wouldn't even let us know, that she was pregnant prior to getting married. So could we really expect that? No. She apparently switched her flight so that she didn't have to be on, she didn't have to travel with Quad. Yeah, we found that out too. And Jackie, again, still has her thorn in her side. So we already knew it was going to be some mess leading up to it. And Jackie also spoke for Phaedra and saying that at the funeral home and the whole resurrection and all that, Quad didn't make Phaedra look good. And Phaedra actually substantiated that last week when she was like, I didn't think that this is how Quad was going to come in here, saying, this and not really taking ownership or accountability for her actions. Like, this is definitely not how I pitched it to these ladies. So I could believe that. I 100% believe what Jackie said. I 100% believe that Phaedra had her on her back at this point in time. Therefore, she cut off Quad in this moment. I totally believe that. 100%. You can't tell me otherwise. So last thing, y'all, it is now dinner time, and aesthetic wise, it was very rich. It was very like, I need that in my life. Farm to table. We love that. Very, very nice spread. I will say Toya so far has done very, very well with coordinating this trip. I can't throw no shade at her for that. Before we can get into the mess, though, Jackie shares that she will be speaking with our vice president / her fellow sorority sister, Miss Kamala Harris, tomorrow on Zoom. They will be discussing Black maternity mortality, and I think that was awesome. And just based on that right there, y'all, that is why Jackie is on this show. That is why Jackie is still on this show, is the whole Married to Medicine thing, the whole medicine part. That's Jackie. She's here to substantiate that. That's her purpose, because she's never going to really be the one getting too much down in the trenches and making stuff happen, the messy stuff happen. That is, she's there to bring the medicine. Okay, so cool. I guess that's fine. I mean, and that's no shade. That's awesome from a business perspective, from a professional doctor, Black woman doctor perspective. I'm all for it. There's no hater in my blood when it comes to that. But that's why she's here, to show her businesses and to bring legitimacy to the show. It is. You can't tell me otherwise. Hated Phaedra's outfit. Like, everybody else kind of looked like they was going to the same place and like very, elegant, classy, whatever. I'm like, do you have to be Players Club like everywhere these days? Like, it just, and this is coming from somebody, I live for the fashions. I love a look, but it just was like, couldn't you just put on a elegant maxi dress or something? It was just like weird. And then the blonde, like, her whole like aesthetic these days is very cringy at times for me. But let me stop. Everybody's entitled to showing up how they want to show up. So she walks in, followed by Quad, and immediately when Quad emerges on the screen, you could basically hear a pin drop. Elephant walks into the room directly to her left. And I was again like, why are y'all acting like this? Especially now that they all know she's here. She did show up. It's going to be what's going to be. I just don't believe in acting. Maybe I'm just too good of a friend, I guess, is what it comes down to at the end of the day. Too good of a friend, because I would not be acting like that to anybody. And even people that I'm no longer friends with, that I have still occupied spaces with, it's not going to be on no. Every time they come in the room, like that's the childish stuff to me, but whatever. I love you too, Kimmy. Oh, I didn't even know. Okay, so there's like all this. This is all like supposed to be green on my sweater, and I'm just now noticing that I'm like, half freaking see-through. Damn green screen. Phaedra caught. Yeah, she was caught in a couple lies and a couple just like mess. Like it was weird. It's them acting like Quad is the only one at fault that's working my. That's what I'm saying. That's what's making me want to jump in the screen and jump on the table and be like, this is not what we're doing. This show is giving Mean Girl vibes. Now I like messy vibes, but not Mean Girl vibes. And this is the issue that we have with that other show that I'm about to get on here and talk about after this. I don't like that type of stuff. And it's not to negate the fact that things have been hurled from one side and the other. But this is what we shouldn't be doing, acting like we don't understand why she's here, what she brings to the table. Because at the end of the day, she's bought a whole hell of a lot more than a lot of people on this show. So, or should I say several people on the show. Certain people on the show. They said that funeral scene almost came. Oh, they did. I must have missed that part. But I mean, between Toya and Quad, or just like everybody, and Toya cussed Phaedra out. Did they say this on the live or they said this on the episode? I gotta pay attention more. F Jackie, she really disappointed. Oh, let me hurry up and drop the link so we can talk a little bit more about this, because I'm curious. I want to know y'all's viewpoints and stuff. Okay. Pin drop. And Quad is actually the one that breaks the ice first and throws herself out there and is like, look, Toya, I'm glad to be here. I'm happy to be showing up for you. It's positive vibes here. It's all love. Everything is great. Cool. Simone then decides to take this as a segue into addressing her about the OGs, and OGs plus Heavenly is what we call it right here. And I'm like, already horrible energy. This is something you could have pulled her to the side and talked about and not made it a whole group discussion, because you know that when y'all try to have these group discussions like this, it never goes as planned. So you knew what you were doing when you even introduced this right then and there, especially because this happened right after the funeral scene or whatever. Wasn't the funeral scene, the way they keep talking, that was just the week prior, right? So you already know where she stands. You already know she's probably going to double down on what she said last week. So why are we even doing this? Like, it's about to get some mean girl-ishness, and I don't like it. So Simone's like, or not Simone, Quad's like, you know, at the end of the day, I just expected more support from you all. I expected just for things to be reciprocal. And I just don't feel like, you know, accepted by you in these moments, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Same thing she said last week. Same things. That's what I'm saying. She's saying the same things off screen or on one-on-ones with Phaedra and Heavenly or whatever. She said everything's kind of, for me at least, lining up at this point in time, that regardless if we agree or don't agree, the girl didn't feel supported by you all, so she retrogressed. End of the day. And if we can sit here, if Heavenly can sit here and say to Sweet Tea that if she was hurt by something she said, then she's sorry, whatever, why can't Quad get that same respect? Why can't Quad get that off too then? If she says, regardless of anything, I just didn't feel supported by you guys, why can't we accept that for what it is then? I'll wait. And at the same time, Quad, sometimes you do become a little victimish. We're balanced right now. CC would be proud of me. And Quad also says that there's no real like emotional attachment right now with them. However, this is a clean slate in her eyes. Simone's like, well, at the end of the day, if that's how you feel, then why are you here? What changed? Then why are you even trying to be around us then? If that's the case, if that's how you truly feel deep down inside. And I'm like, Simone, baby, it's all about the, let me stop. First of all, there's a check involved. Second of all, she said she's trying to start anew, and you guys are just mad because the accountability in y'all's eyes is not reciprocal. And I guess we're gonna sit here and just look at each other then. That's what we would have been doing if I was there. Just looking at each other, because can we talk about y'all's wrongs? Going back to Heavenly, she's offended now that Quad said that there's no emotional attachment. And I honestly, maybe this is me just filling in blanks from my own perspective, but I feel like Quad wasn't really talking about Heavenly when she said that, but whatever. Again, Heavenly felt how she wanted to feel about that. That's fine. So, of course, in true Heavenly fashion, she's going to chime in to say that she didn't hear from Quad until Phaedra told Quad that she wasn't bringing her on the trip. Phaedra told Quad that she was no longer going to be like the coordinator or the link between her and the rest of the ladies. She was good. She wiped her hands clean after their whole resurrection stuff. And I was like, okay, I guess. But knowing that definitely tells me that you purposely changed your flight too. And Heavenly's the type of person that she kind of pisses me off when she does this too. She has to like, when she brings stuff up, she has to like throw everybody into it. She has to like bring up every single name. And I'm like why can't you just the way that she does it is just so just annoying. Like, it's very, now how I get in this, like she throws in everybody's stuff with it to substantiate or justify her statement or her claim or whatever she has to say. And I just think that that's annoying and unnecessary. Like, just keep the spotlight on exactly you and stuff. And I get it, sometimes you do need to bring examples, or obviously if something transpired and it involved people, like, I get it. But the way that she does it is like weird to me, y'all. I don't like it. So she's dropping bombs about changing the flight on purpose, about how Quad was saying that she sees Phaedra as a liar, and and how she used to date Gregory and blah blah blah. So then of course then Phaedra is sitting over there like, and Quad's like, okay, so what we're not going to do is sit here and try to make something into something else. First of all, that didn't even happen like that. And what I said was, apparently, yeah, that did happen. Heavenly then says that Quad called her and said all this, and I'm just like, I'm gonna need people to start producing receipts, because this is getting into a lot of he said, she said, and I don't know what to think at this point. But apparently they went on one date, and Gregory cut Phaedra off because she told him that he has to give her $4,000 a month. Y'all let me know, do you guys believe that? I'm gonna sit here and say I can believe that's a believable story knowing Phaedra. I can't sit here and say that's not true. I can't sit here and say that that's, or I shouldn't say true. This is all alleged. However, I can't say that that is not consistent with the person that we've seen Phaedra be for quite some time. I'm just saying. And also, I'm assuming Quad was talking about herself when she was like, let's not forget who brought you on this show, Miss Parks, in her confessional. So at this point, it is pretty fair to say that we won't be seeing them being all buddy anymore. That being Phaedra and Quad. So to kind of, I guess, defend herself or whatever, Phaedra asked Sweet Tea if that was ever actually said by Gregory or whatever. And she's like, yeah, he just said, first of all, he just said that y'all just went on one date. Like, the end. Story done. I mean, I don't really feel like that should be the focus at this point. I don't really care too much about any aspects that really have to deal with that man, if I'm just being real with y'all. But at the end of the day, Heavenly, you can't sit here and keep trying to throw this sister word around, in my opinion, because neither of y'all have been 100 million% each other's sister. And honestly, a lot of that falls on you because you get up here on the same platform and the stuff that you be saying is not very favorable a lot of the times as it pertains to said sister, in my opinion. But this is really all for this scene. We're going to have to clock back in next week to see the rest of it divulge. Let me hit on, oh gosh, I'm so behind. I'm sorry. Let me hit on y'all's comments real quick, and then I'm going to drop this, or I'm going to drop the link and hit on y'all's comments. Ooh. This was on Heavenly's Live. No, I need to start making sure I'm keeping up with those because Heavenly is just going to say everything that comes to mind and no filter. The Toy and Quad almost, oof. They were sitting right next to each other. Quad would have whipped that through. Honestly, I need them to go on like celebrity boxing or something like that. I'm actually a little interested in seeing that. That would give me my whole, yeah, me too. All the physical altercations have involved Toya on this show. I wish I could pin this to the top of the screen. Y'all remember that. They want Quad to apologize, humble herself, and never acknowledge what they have done to her. And that's what I can't get behind because more than one person created the space that we're in now. Quad just got the same treatment they gave Mariah. And that, honestly, that's the only way, and I've said it before, I think I said at the beginning of the season, that's the only way that I really want to see Quad stay on the show at this point, because, and it's not because I'm not interested in Quad, it's just because it's clearly not working right now. So you might as well go on to other things and where you're celebrated. Is if her and Mariah would be in a better space, that's the only way I really would want to see Quad remain on the show. That's a fair statement. Quad admitted that she is not emotionally connected to the women and she doesn't feel safe. So why are you here? I mean, yes, but I think she's trying. Oh, hi guys. I think she's trying to. Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Barb. Somebody got their chesticles out. What is this?
Huh?
You better put that chest away.
I don't know.
You better put your chest away. This is not a free show. Okay, put it away. Put it away.
I feel like I know how this is getting ready to go. I'm excited.
Wait, what's the? I mean,
this is so crazy because I had actually planned to call you when I got off once I got the new phone.
I'm like, what do you
to do a rant about? Because I don't want to review the episode. I just want to rant.
That is my name.
I just want to establish a legitimate timeline and understanding of the things that's happened, because what I'm noticing as somebody who's watched Married to Medicine season 1 episode 1 from the beginning and has loved the show, recently a few months ago in the spring rewatched the episodes, I'm noticing that a lot of you watched the show, stopped watching it, and just recently came back. So y'all don't know everything that's happened in the middle. And I need a legitimate timeline to be established on how we got here to this point. Because these ladies are not being honest.
They're not.
That's what I mean. Like, it's more than one side. So why are we only focusing on one side? Clear.
This started season 1, episode 1, when Toya made the snide comments about, hey, DeQuasia. When Toya made the snide comments of, when Toya made the snide comments about how she didn't come to the wedding because she heard that it had been canceled, and she, no, about that damn wedding. But
she said that they were busy, so they weren't come. They got the invite to the wedding, but they were busy. However, she heard it got canceled.
Yes, this started season 1, episode
6 months after
1.
They were married.
Yes, season 1, episode 1. So Toya started first. Also, Toya decided to team up with a white woman. And hear me when
Mm-hmm.
I say this.
Mm-hmm. I
White
mean, from the origins of colonization, from the UK,
caucus.
the United Kingdom, it don't get more
Right.
caucus than that.
What an accent. To go
Uh,
after Quad and call her a hood rat and call her low vibrational and low brow and say that she was dating drug dealers. And
And
Mariah
she
forgot to
obviously doesn't
mention
have a class. They was always talking about how classy
And
everybody
Mariah forgot to
was.
mention that said drug dealer was her cousin. And let's
Hmm.
not forget Toya. Because I want to know what's worse, me having COVID, Toya talking about somebody's child's paternity in a packed hair salon in front of people they know and don't know that is very much public, or Quad calling Eugenia after he's insinuated multiple things about her and called her a bitch. What's worse? I feel like it's
we gotta
the
see Cynthia too because Cecil
I
stays saying some stuff too.
yeah, see, don't get me started on
Yeah.
Cecil. I don't like Simone.
Can I
They have a
can I jump in here really quick
yes.
since you mentioned Toya? So my stance, Barb, has been Toya has always gone after families.
Mm-hmm.
Um, starting with
Cat hair
Mariah,
salon.
starting with Mariah, and I just saw a clip on Twitter. We all remember the infamous read with Simone was in the dressing room and she called Toya raggedy and broke. But the part that we forget is the reason why she said that is because Toya told her, since your two sons are here, I'm going to be a good example of a mother since you can't be.
I remember that.
And that is what Simone responded to her calling her raggedy and broke and read her down. I'm saying families have never been off limits for Toya. So why is it that Quad owes you an apology when you've never apologized to anybody else for how you've talked
Nope.
about their families?
Absolutely not. She has not. And Heavenly sitting up here going up for it, and they talk about we the core four. No, Heavenly, you were a guest on season one. It was
Well, they said
Quad, Toya, Simone, and Jackie. And I don't even
you
like
have become
Simone.
personal.
They have blocked me. It will never be right with us.
Yeah. What? Yeah. I don't.
Oh, girl, that IG live the other day was infamous,
What?
baby.
Like,
The people were
I'm like,
barely
what?
making it through.
All I
They were
said
getting
to
blocked
that
left and right.
big
I see
mouth
it.
heifer, all I said to the Bucky the Beaver was, with friends like, and it wasn't even to her. I was just commenting on the live chat. I said, with friends like y'all, who needs enemies? And she blocked me and I got kicked out of the live. Because all I said was, with friends like y'all, who
They're
needs
giving
enemies?
them.
It's the truth. With friends like y'all hoes, HOES, and I can spell it correctly, who needs enemies? Y'all are terrible. And I just want to know what's gonna happen first. Will it be infighting amongst the group, the core four, or is production gonna get y'all for not only going back and telling stuff that you weren't supposed to tell because they weren't supposed to tell what was happening in negotiations? You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to speak on it. So what's gonna happen first? Are they gonna get you, Heavenly, for you saying that? And y'all deciding to do all this stuff based off what they said? Is it them getting y'all for making them waste money because you made the network waste money on Quad? Y'all made them waste money on Quad for Quad to be here and for them not to be able to get the maximum amount of effort out of her because y'all decided to ice her out. And then production is also going to get y'all because they had already had their season set up and what they wanted it to look like. It's going to be Quad versus the women because y'all brought on her abusive ex-husband and now everybody else is buddy buddy with him. Heavenly is doing his teeth. Y'all supposed to be at the wedding. Y'all going to dress fittings. Y'all down the Quad's old house. It's probably got blood hitting it under paintings and floorboards and everything else from the times he was throwing her downstairs, allegedly. Um,
This got really dark.
but
Okay.
who
Okay.
is
I have a banner for that.
but who's going to get y'all first? Will it be y'all turning on each other or will it be production? I say production because production is already calling y'all and telling y'all to get off live.
Yeah, that IG live, they've been calling the one from last week when Quad almost started crying. Heavenly said that. So Miss Bernice, we have been watching the IG lives. We watched the IG lives and we also
I got put out the live.
Yeah,
So did
and
I.
we also watch Heavenly's Lives with Carlos. So based on what I'm watching and what
They're
Heavenly is
gaslighting
saying,
us.
Heavenly sometimes tells what she thinks is the truth, but it's kind of easy to put the puzzle pieces together.
Hmm.
I'm I think the season started and the intention was to have it be Quad versus everybody because
Yes.
Quad seems to thrive when she's, she does her quadism. So, she's got snappy comebacks, she got her long-winded reads, it's gonna give the energy and the drama. Um, I don't think they anticipated the cast icing her out.
Mm-mm.
But I think they planted seeds of discourse to create that discourse between them. Uh it's unfortunate though, because I mean we're dealing with three doctors, and doctors tend to have God complexes. They definitely have a lot of egos in this room. Unfortunately, they thought they were going to be smarter than us.
And they're
I
not.
think they did not anticipate our reaction to some of the strategies that they put in place for this particular season.
And they
They
didn't.
thought that Phaedra was going to be an adequate replacement for Quad.
And
I
she's
think they
not.
also thought Lipton was going to be enough of a draw as well to
And
keep our
she's not.
attention. And I think they thought we were going to see Quad as a villain.
And
But
we
you're
don't.
dealing with people that got PhDs in reality TV. And I'm saying it did not come across the way they thought it was. And I just don't. Everybody knows after a while you got to stop blaming production for everything. Tired
Per-
it's a tired excuse. So
but
this
can I?
whole idea
Ugh.
that production has all this footage of Quad acting up and they're not showing it makes no sense, and it's not important unless they're gonna show it to us.
That's the thing about it. Production is only going to do with what you give them. So if Quad was acting an ass and acting a fool, then production would have used that to show, okay, this is why everybody has a problem with her. They're not showing anything because they either don't have it. I believe they don't have it. I'm gonna just be honest. They probably cut stuff out to make it work, just like they cut Phaedra getting Sleepy Time tea together for questioning her about bringing Quad places because it didn't fit the storyline that they were going with. And they said she got checked not once but twice. Checked at her own wedding, and then checked down to the repast slash She Rises funeral. She got
Um,
checked twice, but they didn't show it because it didn't fit the narrative. Heavenly, you next. They gonna get you out next because they don't like
yeah,
you. They've never liked you.
they've never really liked Heavenly. Yes, that's a great
And
point.
Dr. Jackie is boring. Okay? She's not some moral compass that you hold up against other people and say you have to act just like her or you're the most terrible person in the whole wide world. She's a normal person who happens to be a doctor, who happens to have a giant ass ego, but she is not a moral compass.
I really just hate this because Married to Medicine is my show. Like, I've rewatched this show so many times. It really has always been my show. I've enjoyed Married to Medicine at times more than Housewives. So part of what makes it fun for me to watch is all the personalities together. I'm not, like I said, I do like Quad, but it's a combination for me. It's not just Quad that I watch the show for. Um, they barely survived Mariah no longer being on the show, and
I,
they were able to push through that, and it's still been good. I'm saying I don't know how this show is going to survive without the dynamic that Quad brings to the group, because truth be told, without a Quad or a Mariah there, Heavenly doesn't work. Because when Heavenly does what she does, if she's not going up against a strong personality, then she comes across as a bully. So it's not
Until you're
fun to
playing the
watch her go
victim.
back and forth with these girls and joke and pick fun of these girls. It just, I think they may have possibly let their ego ruin the show.
They did.
I was
Nah.
excited to watch this season because I haven't ever watched it really. I binged the entire thing to get caught up. I liked it and I was excited. So of course I was going to want to watch a show that was going to be a full, show. But right now it's just like, why are y'all acting like this? It was very reminiscent of when Quad walked in there.
The first season, come on, Barb.
First season when she walked in there to that freaking backyard stuff and was like, and they were all like on some Mean Girl stuff. So I don't. We don't need two shows of Mean Girls. Like,
No, we don't. And that's what I was saying too. I was
Two
like, if like I
shows.
said, for people who've been watching it from the beginning, if it, nobody's gotten dogged out more than Quad. Because this whole thing with Lipton, where
you're
people
right.
are like, "Oh, it's not right," and nobody been treated like this. Like, no, 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 no. Y'all just started watching, baby. Nobody has been dogged out more than Quadria Webb on this show.
First of all, let me say this,
That
please,
part.
because I've been waiting, I've been fiddling, I got new
I like
gadgets over here, and I keep
square
putting
foots.
myself up out of stuff. But let me just say this.
I
You
was
like square foots
going.
too?
What's
Oh,
going on?
uh-oh.
I'm scared.
Now,
Me too.
Quad is not without reproach. Quad is no victim. Quad is not innocent. She has gave just as good as she has got. And
Uh-huh.
when she gives, it come along with a Martin Luther King speech and a first Sunday sermon, along with a Christmas sermon and a Easter sermon and a fume sermon that the pastors be preaching because they know they only gonna see the fume people, Easter people, and Christmas people when there's another fume, Christmas or Easter. Okay, she gives as good as she get. But they wanted her to come back and be humble, like even Heavenly saying, "Oh, Choir wanted to say, but what about what y'all did to me?" But that's exhausting. It's exhausting for me to sit up here and apologize to y'all, but not being able to get my frustrations across. And let's be clear, Quad is a better woman than I will
Yep.
ever be. Because there's
Yep.
no way I will come back and apologize. I will kiss the ring. I don't give a damn what production told you I said. At the point in time when I was negotiating my contract, like, listen, I want people to stop playing with me and stop playing with my common sense. There is no way in hell. Hell yeah, when I go to production, I'm going to drag all y'all and y'all advocating for the man who was abusing me and his new bitch to be on this show that is my job. And y'all expect her, I be damned. The same way y'all didn't want her around when T was being glorified to go get her ass dragged down the steps, because it's gonna happen to her too. The same way T was being glorified and y'all wanted to celebrate her in that moment, T should have had to get the hell up and leave in that moment. Because she didn't need to be there. What was her purpose of being there? So not only did y'all bring my abuser back on the show, then y'all sit here and basically tell me I ain't in front of his new bitch.
Uh-huh.
I would have cut the up at that table.
Let's not forget.
That's number one. Number two, emotional attachment, Simone. The whole time that this woman was telling you about what was going on with her and Gregory and the problems y'all didn't, she was not rallied around like they rallied around you and Cecil. She was not rallied around like Contessa and Scott. She would, all them women tried to talk to them men, even down to Dr. Jackie husband. Ain't nobody tried to talk to Gregory to get him to see Quad point. What they
Because
all did
Quad
was
deserved
blame
it.
Quad.
Quad
And the
was the
Uh-huh.
same
gold digger
people
that
who
didn't want to
mad
give
at
him a baby.
Rashida, the same people who mad at Rashida for what she did to K. Michelle, saying that man didn't abuse you, but y'all around here supporting Toya. Did y'all forget seasons ago?
Mm-hmm.
Seasons ago,
Uh-huh.
that Toya said that Gregory wasn't abusing Quad, and then when Gregory sat up there and admitted that he had put hands on Quad, you turned it around and made it her fault. So, girl, you and Lil Dick Eugene, and
Yep.
I'ma
Can I jump
stand
in
on
real
that
quick?
today.
Can
And
I
what you want
remind
to do
y'all of
about it?
something real quick? Remember that
What do you
season?
want to do about it?
Remember that
Like,
season
we
when they
not
ran a
being real
background
here.
check
I'm
on
not saying
Quad?
that Quad is innocent, but what I'm saying is, don't. I'm not about to apologize to you, and you can't apologize. Toya's mugshot came out because she bought Quads out first. Let's be clear.
Uh-huh.
See, that's my problem. You don't get to attack me and then become the victim when I retaliate. And
Let's
I
not
need
forget.
everybody to stop talking about this Mariah stuff, because let's not act like them women just, oh, we don't want Mariah on the show for Quad. Nah, they couldn't stand neither one of them heifers.
Sure
Nope.
couldn't.
And Mariah was pretentious as good TV, but
Th-
pretentious as ain't no
Throwing
way
that
Mama
EP
Lucy would
card
have
up.
hit me with a person. Mama Lucy would still be alive, because Mama Lucy would be
Yeah.
looking up at her maker.
I
She
was
be
never.
standing at Heaven's Gate trying to figure out if they're gonna let her in. So
Throwing that
yes,
EP
all of
card up
those
in their
women did
face.
not like
Yep.
want her there. But these women really don't have an issue. Like the stuff that they're making an issue. Simone, you're mad at Quad about saying the sister circle girls were her friends. Well, let's break it down. Prior to her getting on the sister circle, when she was having issues with her marriage, you was telling her just give that man a baby. baby, and she telling you this marriage is messed up. This is not a conducive environment to give a man a baby. UFO, UFO, UFO. You were not a safe space.
Correct.
Absolutely, we're not a safe space. Everything that went wrong in that marriage was Quad's fault. But here's what I want to see. I want to see y'all tell Sweet Tea it's her fault. Because
Yep.
she's experiencing the same stuff. And yet
And
y'all
signed
have
up for
empathy
it.
and sympathy for her. To me, what this did was vindicate Quad. And y'all owed her apologies for that alone. Because the new woman who only have access to a little bit of the money,
Hey, real quick,
experiencing the
Lola,
same shit. He gonna lie
Lola.
to her and tell her people was in the house with weapons at the same
Uh-huh.
time. Mind you, this is the same time we had what
People
Kenya
breaking.
Moore's house got broke. Not Kenya Moore,
You know,
Marlo and some other
yeah.
people, like they were doing that in Atlanta. So you put this woman on high alert. If that's not abusive, I don't know what it is. But y'all go off and encourage her to marry that. Oh, I ain't gonna talk
Hey,
about Jiminy
Nola,
Cricket.
real quick, what's the best part about being engaged to a doctor?
I get a little bit of access to the money. With his
Let's
cheap
not for,
ass. It probably ain't even a whole bunch of money. Because while y'all sitting up there dogging Quad and talking about what she wasn't doing, y'all don't know that Quad used her connections that she had with industry, with insurance agencies, insurance companies that she
And the
had from when
Medicaid
she was
people.
a medical, when she was selling pharmaceuticals to be able to get Gregory to even accept them kind of
and
patients
now that
because they
she's
didn't want to
gone,
fool with Gregory. And
And the
Gregory was too
Medicaid
lazy to
office.
do the paperwork to get the contracts. Quad set that mess up for his
and now
office.
that
She didn't
Quad
just
is
decorate
gone,
it.
yes, and now that Quad is gone, if y'all did y'all due diligence and actually looked him up and looked up his rating as a doctor, a lot of people who saw him cannot stand this man. He has a one diagnosis fits all um
Practice.
yes, a one diagnosis fits all practice. He disregards the people. One person said that when they were seeing him for um therapy, that he blamed her for her being abused, made her PTSD worse, and said that she was a crybaby. Y'all can look this up. This on Google. This is on the Rachel Doctors. Another person said when they were seeing him, it was like they were a zombie, and then by the time they left his care, oh, everything got better. But y'all going up for this man. And Simone Bucky the Beaver, I don't like you. You blocked me, so it's always gonna be up and stuck for you. You big mouth effer, you big mouth bass. Okay, your
And
mouth like a
let me say another thing
catfish.
about that horse mouth hoe.
That's so wild to me. Like,
She would. Let me tell you something. If you can hold Quad to task on behalf of Toya for saying the rumor, right, about Toya sleeping
Say
around
it.
with, I mean, Toya fine as, but she don't have the body of somebody who been playing tennis for
Tennis for
5 hours
five
a
hours
day.
straight.
Let's be clear. She
7
ain't
days a
got
week.
that kind of body. So where you at
She
the
don't.
other the 4.5 hours?
No,
Hell, the
no,
other
no.
4 hours and 45 minutes. Where the hell you at?
No, where's the other 4 hours and
I'm
uh,
59
just saying.
minutes?
But
I've been
the
trying not
point I
to
was getting ready to
point that
make
out.
is right. If y'all gonna really be what y'all call a friend group and hold each other accountable, where was somebody holding Simone, a doctor?
Come on.
Right? You want to be? I'm a doctor. I'm so advanced. I'm so pro woman, and women can do everything. What
Lies.
was somebody holding her to task for saying the only way Quad could have afford her repairs on her house was to sleep with somebody?
No, no, no. Say it correctly.
Nobody, the married contractor,
Say it
right?
correctly.
Nobody's holding her to task for that. But then I wouldn't have an emotional attachment to you either if you say I was prostituting for light fixtures
Thank you.
and
Well,
curtains and
well, so you
baseboards.
you gotta
I
say
wouldn't
it
I
correctly.
wouldn't I wouldn't feel connected to you either. And here's my thing. Toya is full of shit. Toya is full of shit. Now,
Absolutely.
granted, Han Quad got their stuff, right? And back to these rumors. The rumor that Simone bought about Quad on camera and discussed, we ain't seen this woman on the show. The rumor about Toya in the house was at least said by a woman who we've seen on the show. The rumor about Toya sleeping with Eugene was said by a woman that y'all had in the background of the show. But these are people that Toya is still cool with today. So you mad at somebody for repeating the rumor,
Yep.
but you not mad at the person who created the rumor. Make it make sense. That's
Like
number
how
one. Number two, if everybody said it, are you mad with Quad because Quad was the one filmed saying it? Because everybody said it.
they were all
Hear me
filmed
out there.
saying
Let
it.
us know.
Yeah, they were all
Every
film saying
single person
it.
had talked about Quad, had talked about her setting Anila up. Every single one of those ladies had talked about Toya dropping it low and spreading it wide for the tennis pro or whoever she was around there knocking boots with allegedly, right? Everybody had talked about it. Everybody had said it.
They
So
only
why
show
the only
Quad.
person you mad with is Quadria?
And
And
here,
let me tell you something, Creanta. Because I looked up your middle name, Creanta, and your mom named you right. Your mama looked at you and said, I shall call her Fedra Creanta Parks.
I
And
cannot
you know
stand the
what
way you just
Creanta
said
means?
that.
Brazilian trader. Talk about prophetic. Your mama named you the right name. Your mama named you the right name, Creanta, your trader. Because you, the person who got grape juice, allegations around you that you have never to this day opened up your mouth to clear up, have the audacity to hold somebody's feet to the fire. First of all, you need to hold them wigs that you be wearing to the fire.
Because they're horrible.
You need to come. It's a whole bunch, baby. That lady who was down to the crime ring with Apollo said you left her stuck, was supposed to take care of her kids when she took the blame and everything. You have yet to come out and make a statement about that. Or how about you have yet to return Bobby Brown money for not winning him no cases?
he said every time he was his lawyer, he went to jail.
Creanta, but you got the
Yeah,
nerve. You got
yeah.
the nerve with a name like Creanta.
A name like Phaedra.
Girl, her mama called her Frederick. Girl,
That's sad.
I'm gonna make it
No.
French so it
Um,
don't sound so horrible.
when it comes to
Federal
Simone,
clientele.
when it comes to the big mouth bass, um, I wanted you to say it correctly. Okay, when y'all talk about the rumor she made up about Quad, you must say it correctly. What she has said was, but she just, used the guise of she slept with a married contractor to get some baseboards for her home. What she has said was, you don't have enough money as a single woman to be able to afford anything, and you're lonely and you got nothing. So you had to go out here and prostitute yourself to a married man to get yourself a home because, once again, you are not married. Okay, you're not married. You are not like us, and you don't have anything, and you have always been beneath us. So you obviously had to prostitute yourself out to get a home.
I
That's what
want
she
Simone
said.
to know. So here's why you wanted to know, and I know you have your other live to do. So this is gonna be my last thing. You want to know why I got kicked out? I got kicked
I'm probably
out.
gonna do it tomorrow.
Okay, I got kicked out because I had said, how about we let Quad be friends with Cecil Golf Buddy? Let's bring the woman who Curtis was messing with on the show as well. And let's bring the woman from the receipts that Mariah got. Let's find the woman from the receipts Mariah got on Dr. Daddy. Let's bring all them on the show and let Quad be friends with them and treat y'all like for those women. And y'all tell me how y'all like it. Y'all be okay with it. And then that was the last comment that
Now,
I was
see,
able to make.
I didn't say
Now,
nothing.
Barb, I wasn't being messy in the chat like them.
How was I
That
being
wasn't being
messy?
messy. That was truth.
How was
Cause
I
the
being
truth of the
messy?
matter,
Not
yo,
everybody can
Bob,
handle the truth.
y'all know,
That's why I ain't
Bob
get
is my
kicked out. They
sister.
got kicked out though. I still was
You,
in the
you,
club.
Y'all
girl,
know,
please.
Bob is
You
my
said
sister.
worse.
I love Bob. Y'all know I had listen. Y'all know when it came down around to my birthday, y'all know I love y'all too. Fight stare answer. Y'all know I love y'all. But what I told y'all ain't doing nothing without Bob. Y'all ain't doing nothing without my
Oh, I
sister.
was like, what are you
Like
about to say?
do not pass go. Do not collect $200, baby boy. Italics Times New Roman underline 72 font. Like
And
that's
what did
just
we
what it
do?
is.
We
I
worked
mean, I wasn't
together.
included no way. So
So I'm saying, but what I'm saying that to say that is my sister. I love her. We're doing YouTube. You know what I'm saying? We're doing
Child.
YouTube together, and I love her husband too. That's my brother. But if they get divorced, I get her. I get her in a agreement. And let's say he meets somebody else. Y'all, I could be on vacation and she could be on a girl's trip. And I could meet this lady and be like, oh girl, you so nice and she could be cool, cool, cool. Let me find out it's his new old lady. I'm gonna be like, oh girl, I can't fuck with you. And then I'm gonna take a picture and send to my friend. It ain't gonna be like, look at my new bestie. I'm gonna be like, girl, you see this
Because
hoe?
that wasn't fucking. Oh God,
Girl,
that wasn't funny.
girl, you see this whole girl? She is not no upgrade, girl. He's definitely have downgraded. Like,
She
I'm not
keeps
gonna
saying,
do my friend. I'm not gonna meet that lady and be like, oh hey,
Don't be
come get on
funny.
World of
y'all,
Reads
she
with me
keeps
and
saying
Barb, and
Quad don't
expect Barb
care.
not to feel no way. And then if she stop calling me, don't want to talk to me, don't want to fool with me, and be like, I don't understand why. You should apologize to me.
I just
I
want
didn't
y'all
Yeah,
to
do
know
she
this
keeps
now.
anything. That's
Tiffany keeps saying
unrealistic.
Quad
I
don't
believe
care,
that's
Quad
not
don't care, but it's impossible. It's y'all are not taking pictures of this lady from afar and jugging at her in the text message, the group
no.
chat. You're literally bringing her to this
My new
show and then
friend.
telling me that I need to be around her and hang out with her and expect me to just not have any feelings about that.
I'm gonna tell y'all now. If I ever get married and I divorce the person, y'all belong with me. Y'all will never be friends with this imaginary man or that imaginary new woman. It's not gonna happen. I will raise
It's
hell.
it's just
This
disrespectful.
I've actually had this issue in my own life where we have both been friends with friends with the girl, he's friends with the guy, and that was actually something that we had to figure out because I'm not going to be friends with his new person. Like it's just there's like a code with that. Like I don't know. Like it's I'm just
Yeah,
not
You
gonna
knew
be
me first.
friends with that person.
they all violated girl code
Mm-hmm.
It's
based
weird.
on something that production told y'all, which they shouldn't even be telling y'all
They
because
should
anybody who has ever had a job know you are not supposed to discuss salary or nothing
show
with
like.
nobody in your
Uh-huh.
arrangements that you make. You so that's a HR violation.
Yeah,
So
who
they
works with
actually
Which
heavily opening up her mouth and saying that actually handed Quad a very valuable lawsuit if
yep.
she wants it. Not saying she wants it, but you put it in her hand and saying that. But all of y'all are grown women. Y'all been on this show long enough and have watched other shows or have heard about other shows with the mess and how producers be lying and this, that, and the third. And Phaedra, Creanta,
Get her.
let me tell your bald head ass something. What Willie Watkins need to do is put you in one of them fucking caskets because you are the same one who felt like you were being persecuted behind a lie that somebody in production told you allegedly with that grape juicing. So being that you had that experience and you was having conversations with these ladies, if they told you that or you were privy to that information, you should have said, "Wait, hold up. Let's talk to Quad first. I know y'all feeling some type of way, but you know what? I had a whole scandal behind a lie that I
Mm-hmm.
was told by somebody from production that I repeated. But you didn't say that, Creanta.
And also, these women also have no loyalty because y'all had to know that it took a lot of money to get Creonta on this show. Thus is why Contessa and Anila was fired to begin with because she ate up the budget as to why Dr. Alicia, who
it's a
don't
good
say Dr.
nothing.
Alicia don't say two words because Dr. Alicia had more scenes, but they cut it because they couldn't make her a full time cast member, thus having Phaedra on there. So not
Let me tell
only
you
did
something.
production waste money getting Phaedra on the show for her to do absolutely nothing, they also wasted a good amount of time and money to get Quad to come on the show to be around her abuser's new wife and around a group of heifers who is rude and mean and nasty, and one looks like a big mouth bass looking like a catfish mounted on the wall. They just
Oh,
wasted a
I'm
whole
not.
bunch of money.
I didn't forget that, Auntie Bernice. I didn't forget that. Like I say, Quad isn't
You're
innocent. It's the
this
Yeah.
ladies
relationship.
wanting to perpetuate like they never did anything for to Quad for Quad to
Oh,
be
oh,
this
oh, oh,
Tag me
oh.
from
in,
them.
tag me
Wait,
in, tag
wait,
me in,
wait,
That's
wait.
my
I got
issue.
one.
I
I
ain't
got
saying
tag
one. I
that
me
she
got
in,
one.
tag
innocent.
Real
me
quick, I
in,
got one.
tag me in.
Is Toya getting on that live after Quad came down to the table and sat there and told her, even though we're going through our stuff, I just want to tell you how immensely proud I am of you with this venture. This is going to do amazing for you. And then Toya, after the scene passes, coming on the live talking about, and she came and sat at the table and refused to say anything nice to us. Girl,
Tag me in, Miss Bernice. Let's not start in the middle. Let's start at the beginning. Season what? Season 4 opened up with Lisa running
Do a background
background
check.
checks on
Yep.
Mariah, Quad, and Heavenly. And she decided to make it her storyline to dangle the information she came across in that background check over Quad's head in front of that cast. And
I remember.
everybody sat around and was like, well, it shouldn't be a big deal if your background is clean. And it wasn't until she decided to get her own background check run
Mm-hmm.
that she came at her about her husband, and everybody decided to say Quad went too far.
I remember that. Yep.
Let's also not forget them sequestering Quad in another part of the house when they went on a couple, like they went on a trip
Oh
because
my
she was a single woman and they were all married, acting like that woman was
God.
going to try
Gonna
to get
sneak
with
out in the
any
middle of
of
the
their
night into their
husbands.
room.
Yeah, trying to
That was
act like
Jamaica.
that,
No, that wasn't Jamaica. Never mind.
acting like that woman wanted their husbands.
That was Toya Simone doing that.
First and foremost, nobody wants Damon but Heavenly. Nobody. Hear me when I
No,
say this
I'll give
loudly.
her this. That wasn't Heavenly. Heavenly was the one that kept bringing her around. That wasn't Heavenly's doing.
I don't
That
care.
was
She's in
Simone
it
and
now.
Toya doing that. That was
But
Simone and Toya's doing.
I don't
So
care. She's in it now.
let me say
Nobody
this.
wants Damon except for Heavenly. Nobody wants Cecil's lazy ass because he don't do anything. He's lazy. He's a bum.
Tell him
I
go pressure
said
wash
it.
the
He
house.
does nothing.
Like,
He can't
he just
even
walked
clean a
around and back those bags.
baseboard. Nobody wants Cecil or them lazy sons you raised, you big mouth bass. Nobody. Nobody.
That's the
Nobody wants Curtis, but whatever woman is down in the DR
part.
popping it and dropping it low for him and busting it wide open for a
Let's
real
be
one.
clear.
And nobody wants Eugene with his small peen, not even you, Toya. Go to hell.
Let's be clear. The only person who I can say who's really, if we want to call it, married to medicine is Toya and her husband, because Simone got 3 children around there. She ain't got a husband. She got a third child. That's her
Yeah.
firstborn.
All of
Cecil
them
is
would have
her
been put out my
firstborn.
house.
Let's be clear.
Yep.
Jackie and Curtis, baby, the only Diora he doing, the only Diora he's sticking is he's sticking a doctor. He's sticking a Diora, the Dominican Republican. He ain't sticking Jackie. Y'all can't look at me and tell me y'all think Jackie and Curtis is doing anything.
Then I don't believe it.
Okay, so she ain't got no marriage either. Who else on here? T.
Heavenly,
She
Heavenly is
ain't got no
legitimately
marriage
married to
either. She just
medicine.
married her Paul. And you
Heavenly is
already
legitimately
complaining.
married to
Communicate
medicine.
horrible communication issues do not get better because you say I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Heavenly. It's
Yeah.
Heavenly. Heavenly's legitimately married to medicine.
Child, we don't know what heavenly legitimate they is because we don't know what the hell going on in that marriage. Damon
Now
face be
we
looking like
don't
he's
know,
sick of
but
her.
she's a doctor and he's a doctor is my point though. They both are doctors. They
But my
both are
but, but
married
my
to
point is
medicine
this:
committed to
Quad may
medicine.
not have been married to medicine, but here's where they could have went with that. You could have had Quad talking to these ladies about different medicines that was coming out. Oh, hey, I got this pharmaceutical rep, da 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 da. Because although she may not have been married to medicine, let's be clear, she was a part of medicine prior to marrying Gregory, which I would like to see other parts of medicine. They have PAs. Get a CNA on there. Get a nurse on there. Let's get a CNA on there to talk about how them nurses be lazy and don't be want to do their job, and the CNAs do their part. Let's get a nurse to talk about the CNA. Like it's other ways that we can take medicine, because one can say that if you have a literally, you can
I
say that Jackie is
don't come
married
on
to
this bro.
medicine, right? Not She ain't married to Curtis. She married to medicine, and the simple fact that she lives it, breathes it, eats it, nurtures it. She nurtures medicine more than she nurtured her husband or herself.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so in that sense of it, you can have somebody that's literally married to medicine. That's all they eat, sleep, breathe, and do.
To
So
the point where they pushed everybody else away.
because she divorced Master Splinter around there with the squeaky box voice, you could have used her to talk about another aspect of medicine.
He ain't
That's
got
number
enough hair to
one.
be Master
Let's stop
Splinter.
acting like did she have doctor money? No, but she wasn't broke because she was the top pharmaceutical rep. And let me tell you something. I know about a pharmaceutical rep because I had an uncle who did it for years, still do it.
They
And
make
baby, when I
bank.
tell you every Father's Day was at his house and we would be in the pool. Now I remember one day it started drizzling on Father's Day, and they're gonna tell us, get out the pool, it's raining, y'all gonna get wet. And we all looked at them like, we already wet. Long as it ain't lightning, chill. Because we
Yeah.
already
I was
wet.
like, wait, what?
What the rain gonna do? I mean, it rained for like 10 minutes, but that's besides the point. My point is, They like built-in pool. Not one of the little pools, you know, that the people come and put above ground.
That's a grip.
Built-in pool. You know where my grandmother stayed, Barb? Remember where my grandmother stayed? He stayed up the street from where my grandmother stayed. So Barb can tell y'all, that ain't no shabby. That's $500,000 to $1 million houses around there. But I'm
So
saying that to say, if she was a top pharmaceutical rep, she wasn't broke. She might have didn't have his type of money, but she wasn't broke.
Phaedra.
she's what Kimmy said. She's still.
Phaedra came on there and put feisty face over a man picture and said, "This is my boo."
Excuse me.
Why you didn't tell her she was dating Creanta? Because I ain't calling her Phaedra no more. Since I found out her name is
Creanta.
Creanta, I'm
I don't
calling her.
even
Her mama name of Creanta. I'm gonna call her Creanta.
I just think that we should, if we're gonna sit here and try to hold people to like the titles of the show, like that went out the door like 10 years ago.
Kenya Morta
Across the street.
was on Roja longer than she was
Not a read anymore.
Longer than she was a housewife. And let's be clear, half these women on here, like
Giselle Bryant,
she never worked. But what I'm saying is, none of the women are true.
Beverly Hills, Orange. There's
title.
someone that's not married on every
Heavenly
show.
Heavenly was on Roja, but a housewife is somebody who does not work. Your work is your home.
Dubai.
Sandra was a lawyer. Candy was working. Child, Sheree was scamming. To some people, that's a job. You know what I'm saying? So, like, let's not do that. And another thing. Let me get on Toya, old raggedy moose face ass. Let me tell you something. You no tennis body built bitch.
I get her.
You set your raggedy ass on that live.
And she did.
And you say, well, and T didn't want us to bring her around. Let me tell you one motherfucking thing. I never a part of the fucking equation because T came to where that woman was.
Teeth? You my teeth?
She really
sees never a little bit of access to the money. Girl, if you don't get your granny panties and your goddamn gums off my TV because you didn't want her around. Let me tell you something, T. All of them women are clowning you. Toya already let us know. I mean, Heavenly already let us know that Toya was only said that she was only your friend to piss Quad off. Don't know them with you. So when you flop next season, because they're gonna bring you back next season. When you flop next season, I want you to understand this because you didn't want Quad around. Because the only reason anybody was remotely interested in seeing you all married to Medicine,
you and them gums,
was because of the you and Quad dynamic. So y'all just got rid of the dynamic that made us wanted to see how y'all were going to interact. Because other than that, we didn't care to see you. Other than that, we all thought it was pretty fucked up that Bravo even bought you here because you don't go here.
Correct.
And you don't fit in with these girls.
Go here.
And you lie.
You lie, you don't fit in, and also let's be clear on something.
Then that means a little bit of access to the money. You must only have access to the coins, which is why you ain't gonna have money. You have money to the access to the money that jingle. You ain't got access to the money that fold, because if you did, you wouldn't have had to have that tag on that dress that you was bringing back the next day after filming that scene. You raggedy hoe, you. See, I'd have rather your sister Anna Palmer on the show than you, because Anna Palmer can get with him. You can't get with him. Want to sit up here and talk about this my house. It's a new sheriff in town. Well, girl, you're living in the last sheriff house, and it's poorly fucking decorated. But after we dragged your ass, then I guess since you and now you the wife, you got full access to the money. So y'all went head on and redecorated. But let me tell you something. That man don't love you. That man don't love you at all. And yes, it is very smart if somebody can keep a house. I'm not saying go out here and sell your house. I'm not saying live for the Joneses. But what I'm saying is Gregory has been a part of this reality TV show, not for half of a season, not for 2 weeks. He's been around it and long enough to know that Sweet Tea was gonna get her ass dragged, having that goddamn hoedown in the same house that Quad was in, looking raggedy, same cabinets. Bitch, did you even change the sheets on the motherfucking bed?
Well, it's not Quad's bed,
I
but
knew
Well,
they
yeah,
have
they
you,
had
if
to change
Quad
it because
had
Quad
took the
took the
bed,
sleep
you
number.
still be sleeping with Quad's same sleep number because Gregory wouldn't even let you adjust it. And I think it's real crazy that you agreed to come on this show to a man who was supposed to be wanting to marry you, but
they
came on
forced
this
her.
show to link up with his ex-wife's enemies to stick it to her. Baby, everybody talking about a Quad over it. She didn't have to show up. She didn't have to do that. Well, if Dr. G was over it, he didn't have to link up with the ops. He ain't got to talk about Quad. He ain't got to say, I don't want Quad around. He got Sweet Tea. And he wouldn't have bought her on this show looking how she was looking in that same goddamn house if he had to run an Airbnb for production. So just till they could get something else or do something else for her not to be dragged the way he was. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how everybody want to call women bitter, but if y'all don't see Dr. G as bitter as, I don't know what to tell y'all.
And Heavenly let us know
He
why he
wanted
was.
to be seen.
But wait,
It's
real quick.
I agree
harassment.
he wanted to be seen, but he also wanted to
It's
stick it.
harassment.
He
But
wanted to stick
like
it to
real
Quad
quick.
too. So now he can say him and his new wife. Y'all also handed her abuser the power to say him and his new wife had a part of kicking her off of the show.
Let's be
If they don't see how up that is, and yet they want her to be humble and apologize, girl. All y'all, I swear to God, did you Heavenly say she showed up for 10 minutes? If I was Quad, I would come sit down for the reunion and I would say, Andy, I don't mean to cut you off, but let me just say this. Fuck all y'all. Cause y'all bought this ball mouth head bastard on here. Y'all bought this country hoe on here to try to do what y'all did to me. When at the end of the day, I have always said what I want to say to y'all, but that's okay because I'm gonna shop I swear to God. I'm gonna shop a show to Bravo, and it's gonna be called all your niggas side bitches, and that's where the fuck I'm gonna have I'm gonna say all you bitches tea. Now I can tell
okay.
y'all, kiss my black ass. Y'all ain't no
Not
sister.
doing it
Y'all
anymore.
ain't no circle. Y'all ain't
No.
shit. Y'all wanna still be humping on that shit? Fuck y'all. And Andy, I will tell you, kiss my. I'm going to find a golfing lady so she can let us know really what's going on. Like, stop playing with me. All y'all talking about y'all hang like that. We know Toya and Heavenly do not hang out the season. And let's be clear, we ain't seen no pictures of Jackie and Simone hanging around. You can
Nope.
clearly see there's a distance. You can clearly see there's an issue. Jackie, you disappointed me in the biggest way because you have a problem with that shit. You have a problem with Sweet Tea being on there because you said in a divorce, y'all get me. Y'all
Multiple
better not
times.
do no shit like this. And you let it be known. But instead of sitting up there and saying, yo, Quad, you got your issues, girl, and you need to own it. But I understand you going off because this right here, with her being right there, ain't right. Nah, you sat there and you rode with it. Just
What?
like you
Because they wanted to humble her. Because they
riding with
wanted to humble
Curtis
Quad.
while somebody else riding on his dick in the Diora. That's the project he doing. Girl, fuck you and your old
And let's
side.
be clear on something. When it comes down to that house,
I'm mad
it
I bought
wasn't when
any
the
of
show.
her damn products. I'm pissed off. I want a refund.
And when it
Of
comes
whose
to
products?
Jackie's. When it comes to that house, they didn't do redecorations after the show aired. No, they redecorated and they waited and saved that video until after the show aired so she could showcase it. But it's just like, girl, you got them tchotchkes from the 99-cent store. They're not your own tchotchkes. This don't feel lived in. This is a bachelor pad.
She
He
just
is going
fucking
to.
cheap,
You
man.
didn't get to decorate nothing. This is what he wanted to look like. And them is still Quad's curtains. And it's still the way Quad had that house laid out. Y'all didn't change anything about it. That's first and foremost. You also didn't know how to spell hoedown because hoedown, in the sense that you were doing it in, it's HO and then DOWN, not HOE. But hey,
Well,
if
the
you want to
hole
call,
was down. She's put it
I mean,
right.
if she wants to call herself that, great for her. Now, Jackie, you did say multiple times, and you had to reiterate it multiple times. If you and your husband divorce, they get you in a divorce, they can't hang out with this man no more. That's
Yep.
first and foremost. You said that. So why are you okay with doing this to somebody if it would hurt you and you would feel the way if they did it to you? You would also have a problem. But because you feel like you need to humble Quad because she was an MRS MD and not a MD, you feel like she's lower than you. That's that ego and it needs to be checked at the door. Then let's get on to the fact that this big backed computer shaped ass bitch with a
Oh my
bald
God.
head looking like a ninja turtle,
Oh my
looking
God. What
like
did the turtles do to you?
Michael. Myers in
I'm
that
just
one movie where he was built like a turtle. If you pushed him on his back, he would just flail in the air because he don't know how to roll over and get back up. Was a
you like
private
this.
citizen. He was a private. Hear me when I say this.
Wait,
He was a private citizen again. He didn't want Quad to quit the show after Lisa Nicole threw that glass at her face.
it's a
Didn't want her
turtle.
to quit the show when she threw that got that glass thrown at her face because he enjoyed all the luxuries of being on a reality
So
show.
bad that you
And
have a
the one
turtle.
thing that upset him the most about her divorcing him was the fact that he no longer had access to said reality show. So he was a private citizen, and y'all went and got him because y'all wanted to humble her and y'all wanted to bring her down because y'all felt like she thinks too highly of herself and she needs to be at the level that we say she's at, not at the level that she believes she's at. No, she needs to be where we told her to be at. Y'all go and get him and the big teeth, big gum, big draws, big nothing. Because obviously, not everything is bigger in Texas. Because if it was so, she would have a big ass. Okay? Y'all went and got them too and brought them on this show to do what? It's not giving riches. It's not giving luxury. It's not giving we are the best. It's not giving anything but y'all are pathetic because guess what? You don't get paid like that your first season. Talking about when I get my first check, I'ma buy him a watch. He could buy his own watch. And then saying that it's Quad's fault that her marriage broke up because she didn't want to give him a baby. If he wanted a baby, if it was
She
that
can't give
deep
a baby
for a
either.
child, if he wanted a baby, if it was that deep for a child, he would have
Mm.
had a child already. He would have got a surrogate. He would have got a baby mama. He would have linked up with a friend who was in her big age and said she wanted a baby too and just share custody. He would have adopted. He would have went and found some kids in his own family that didn't nobody want to take care of and adopted them and taken them into his home and became a father. He could have did all those things. He didn't want to be a father. Shout out to Mother Feisty. He wanted to retire a bad bitch and he wanted somebody to be a maid mattress and a mule and he now has his maid mattress and a mule because them teeth is shaped like it anyway. He went and found a maid mattress and a mule and he is okay with the fact that she has endometriosis because he never wanted kids in the first
He
place.
just wanted to trap Quad.
He wanted to trap someone to make
Made
them stay at
mattress in the
home and cook for him
moon.
and clean for him and be someone to open their legs wherever he wanted them to. And now he has that. So he's not pushing the baby issue. He wants to be seen. He wants to be a housewife. He wants to be married to medicine. He wants the luxuries of being on this reality show. But here's the problem: you're not going to get the luxuries of being on this reality show because she's not going to be making that much money and they're going to dog her and you every time they get you turtle built bitch.
First of all,
Well,
Oh,
Hmm.
the
I
no
just want to
access
say one
code.
thing, and I'm gonna wrap mine on up. Sweet
Cute.
tea,
oh,
Lipton. I saw how
Sleepy
you was
time.
Feisty,
throwing back
feisty.
that brown in that
What you like
glass.
that I cook? What you
Red
like
stress
that I
you had
cook? You
already,
better
huh?
answer it right. What you like?
Don't nobody drink like that
Sweet
just for
tea,
the
sweet
health.
tea, sweet tea, sweet tea. I've been here cooking.
Stretching you
Oh,
thin
the chicken
already. Okay,
adobo, the
girl, you
chicken
Oh
got
my
it.
God.
adobo, the
That's
chicken
another thing.
adobo. What you like that I cook the
Hold on.
best?
Hold on. And another thing.
The
Girl, we obviously
Cutie.
know something is wrong with you because you would have sat up here. I said,
what?
I
That
know
chicken
that's
was
not a
dry.
box. I know that's not a brand new box of Crown Royal. The big bottle. That bottle about 200. That's a good $200 bottle. That is a big bottle of Crown Royal. Girl, I know you didn't bring this big old bottle of Crown Royal. This brand new. This ain't even been cracked open. You cracked the box open, you broke the seal on it, took the bag out the box with the bottle in it.
She
Oh,
did.
that's a brand new bag. Took the bottle out, cracked that open, and then poured you a glass all the way to the top and sat up there and drank it down like you was old girl in the players club who had to have a drink so she could get ready to go out there and dance for them people.
Ebony.
yeah.
Yes,
Oh, I'm not listening.
He taking her
I
through
ain't
it
mad at
already.
about. I ain't mad at about the drinking. And don't get me wrong. I had literally said, "Hey," at that funeral scene. It was so hilarious to me. I literally said, I tweeted,
she's
renew
also
everybody contract. renew everybody contract because it was hilarious to me. But this right here, oh no.
Oh no, she's also violent. Cause let's not forget, she was threatening to swing on somebody over some comments that were made. She's also violent. We just gonna put that out there. The girl likes to threaten people because she said she was going to put her foot up Heavenly's ass based off something that was said. She was trying to warn you, you dumb bunny. She was trying to warn you, you dummy, that this is not the man you need to be married to, not because of his age. We just seen a lot of people get married to a lot of people who are older than them or younger than them and be just fine. It's not the age part of it. It's the fact that this man has a history of being abusive, and not just physically, emotionally and financially. He always has to let you know what he paid for and what he not going to pay for and what's going to get done on his dime. It's about experience. And the experience is, and the people know it, that this ain't somebody you want to be married to. Because in the years that he has been off this show, that turtleback built bitch ain't learned nothing. He ain't changed. He not gonna be different. He is the same person he was when he was married to Quad. And they had to play them clips over and over and over again of Quad saying what the issue was and him blatantly disregarding her feelings and gaslighting her. And then did the same thing to you to the point where you sat there, and this is why Sleepy Time Tea is not the brightest. She is the dark. You sat there with Heavenly and said, Quad was right about some things. After that, you get no, we don't care what you're talking about because you didn't just confirm what everybody knew what was happening. Quad was right. Quad was right. You shouldn't have let them words come out of your mouth if you was going to continue on this show. Now it's gonna be Quad was right, cause girl, I don't know. I don't know what you think is going to happen, but you're going to live the life Quad lived, and it wasn't a good life with that man. The only difference is you may have bought yourself a little bit more time with him because you are the maid, the mattress, and the mule.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why Quad didn't have as much time with him is because she refused to be the maid, the mattress, and the mule. And the only way he found that he could try to make her be the maid, the mattress, and the mule was giving her a baby, and she did everything not to have one with him. Because why would you bring a baby into a situation like they had, thinking that children don't fix those things? Generally, they make it worse.
Hello.
Children don't. Y'all, okay, listen, y'all got, for the people out there, I feel like I'm speaking to somebody in the back. Hear me when I say this, and I'm going to say it clearly. Children don't fix your bad relationships. They generally tend to make it worse because now there is another person there that you have to give all your time and your energy to because you have to make sure that child lives, okay? Because somebody gonna call CPS on you if you mistreating them, okay? You can go to jail for these things. You can. Somebody will come up in that house and take that child from you if you're treating them bad. Children tend to make this worse and tend to show you that y'all weren't supposed to be together anyway. Y'all not supposed to be arguing in front of them children because whether you believe it or not, children actually take on your emotions and start to internalize them, and then it starts to manifest in different ways for them. Either if they're able to talk, walk, and do everything that a walking, talking human is able to do, they're going to start to emulate that with their peers. Or if they're young, they're going to internalize it, and then it could start to have an effect on their body. Children don't fix the things that y'all want them to fix. If your communication is trash and you're hitting people in the back of the head with skillets, Heavenly, or communication is trash and people are going on trips to the DR, Jackie. Your communication is trash and people are having golfing buddies who are built like Brock Lesnar, but also are just lazy bums, Simone. People have to work all the time because both of y'all don't know how to handle money, Toya. A child is not going to fix that. It's going to make it worse. Y'all cannot have children to fix what is already broken and messed up. Generally, people, who actually want children and didn't just have children because you finally want someone to love you unconditionally, or you had the child to fix the situation, or you had the child because somebody else wanted you to have a kid but you didn't want to have one yourself. If you actually want a child, you tend to do and take the steps needed to fix what is broken within yourself and fix what is broken within your relationship before you decide to bring an innocent human who didn't ask to be born into this situation. But shout out to Quad realizing that a baby not gonna fix this, and this might even get worse with a child here. So let me take all the steps I can not to bring an innocent child into this tumultuous, abusive household. Thank you, Quad. You just saved somebody's life. Because
Oh,
if y'all don't think this is an if y'all don't think that children who grew up in abusive households, if you don't think they grow up to have their own issues and their own relationships, y'all are sadly mistaken. It is a cycle.
it sure is. And we don't like cycles. So
No, no, we don't.
we're
We
glad
like them
to.
to be broken. We want them to be broken. Y'all need therapy. Y'all need to get some help. And at this point, take Sleepy Time and her gums. You take that turtle she married to. You take Jackie and that man who is never around. You take Simone and her three dependents, running her pockets for hundreds of thousands of dollars every single year. You take Heavenly and her father, and you take Toya and her spending money, and get the hell out of my face. Cause y'all all got problems. But y'all
Well,
would rather go at somebody else instead of admit that y'all got y'all problems. Oh, they just so raggedy. Uh, and that big mouth bass, I ain't never seen it for you. I'm not gonna see it for you now. Gonna block me because I told you you're not a real friend. You raggedy wench.
mm,
How
mm.
Too Feisty said worse to her. Make that make sense?
Some people can't handle the
Now,
truth.
why would you throw me under the bus and try to get me blocked because you can't get in the club?
Cause you said worse.
That's not the point.
You
The
was
point
eating them
is
up
I
before
didn't
I
get
even
blocked.
got up in there.
The point is I didn't get blocked.
It's raggedy. You supposed to
I
be
mean,
my mother
I
anyway.
got blocked because I was calling them out. I asked Toya, did she apologize for saying that that man abused her? That man didn't abuse Quad, and we found out he did. I asked Jackie, can Quad be friends with the woman Curtis was down to the hotel with and bring her on the show? I mean, I just
That's a valid question.
you
This
know what
is
I'm
what
saying? Like Toya talk about, I don't dislike. I said, girl, you hate that woman with every fiber in her being every time she walked in. But one thing for certain, and two things for sure, I never let a bitch know she got me that pressed.
Absolutely not. She would never know.
Never. Your whole disposition came. You can't function. You can't even drink. And Kawhi got you so messed up. You can't even drink when she walk in the room. Your cup be stuck like this.
Ooh,
And we know
and
how you
some
like to guzzle.
it's something that pissed me off about
But she
that
need to.
dinner scene.
Maybe that's
Something
what
that
you need
pissed
to do. Instead of being so pressed about quiet, instead of and guzzling wine, you need to be guzzling somewhere. Keep
You
your
know what
mouth
pissed me
closed.
off about that whole dinner scene? When Quad comes walking down in her cute little outfit, and they all looking at her crazy because all of them is dressed like they went shopping in the trash bin behind the 99-cent store with them awful trash garbage wigs that look matted and ratty like you didn't get them at a no reliable hair store and it have no reliable. You got it from a non. You got let a non-licensed hairstylist put them wigs on top of y'all heads. Y'all looking at Quad all crazy. Y'all heifers didn't tell her what the dress code was for dinner. Y'all let her walk out the room and go to her
But said
own
it wasn't
room.
an ambush.
But
But
it
said it
yeah,
wasn't an ambush, but in the confession, but not even in the confessional when you was talking. No, yeah, it was in the confessional.
it
Because
was.
when was Simone was when people were calling Simone out and calling the girls out saying y'all ambushed
It
Quad,
was.
y'all ambush. It was not an ambush, but then in your confessional, you know what I'm saying? You sitting up there and say, "I need Quad." Wait, let me make my gums big in my teeth.
do it.
I need Quad to think that everything is okay so she can come. So we can get it started. Girl, that's an ambush.
Or
Whether
the
it was
bad
in love or not, if everybody, just like what they did, but these girls can't operate in one on one.
they can't.
They can't operate in one on one conflict. Just like when they had the issue with Heavenly about her show, about her YouTube channel, right? Um, they have to do it in a group setting. But what I'm realizing is this is starting to be a power struggle, much like it is in Potomac, meaning certain people can do you things, but you can't do them things, right?
Roger
Because
Bob.
Toya and Contessa was not, and it gives me everybody gets along with what Toya wants. Like Toya be so upset because somebody is cordial to Quad to the point where she's calling them, "You bitches is fake. Y'all be talking." Da, 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 da. Like, listen, I could not like you and still be cordial and peaceful and say, "Hey, how you doing? Good evening."
Yes.
Or ignore
Like,
you.
let's not
You
forget
know what I'm saying?
Contessa.
But the minute somebody is not nasty towards her, and then here they come, no, 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 we're gonna talk, we're gonna say, da, 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 da. It's like Toya is the puppet master, and she's the least accomplished on this show, and yet has the biggest attitude. It's given she's mad because Quad was like, y'all mad because Quad said she was the breakout star. She was. Because what y'all did, season 1, y'all looked down on her. Y'all said she was ghetto. She didn't fit the aesthetic
She
of the
was the
group.
underdog.
Y'all did that. And what y'all did was made her a underdog. And people love, like Feisty say, champion for the underdog. So y'all mad at the demon that y'all created.
I
Get the fuck out of here.
warn people
The
about
tennis player,
this.
girl, listen, she owe Eugene. She don't owe me. She know you owe Eugene an explanation for what she do with the other 4 hours and 55 minutes of her time. Because she ain't playing no tennis for 5 hours.
Correct.
Toya is a bad bitch. Toya is fine. Toya is sexy, but Toya don't have the body of I play tennis 5 hours a day every day
7 days a
for
week.
over. Well, she been in
365.
this subdivision over 2 years, 365 times 2.
She don't got the
Nope.
legs nor the
Nobody
breath
should look like
control.
that. I'm gonna tell you when she bouncing. She bouncing the ball all right, and it ain't a tennis one.
Listen. I want to point out this. Toya has a nasty disposition. Toya is not ugly physically, but her insides are ugly, and it starts to seep out, and it makes her outsides ugly. Toya has a nasty disposition. Because let's not forget, you the same person who said the Contessa daddy wasn't as sick as she said he was, and that she was lying about it, all because she didn't want to come to your party. Even
Oh,
though,
and while we talking about
even though
what
she sent her
people,
husband in her place.
that's that's why I was going with the whole the group think thing, right? Like y'all want to make it seem like it was all bad. It was not all bad because at the same time, when you after you had done blamed this woman for not having a baby, blame this woman for
Her abuse.
being abused. Not heavenly. Simone, didn't she come with you in your teeth? She had to buy an extra seat. You had to buy an extra seat because you and your teeth don't even fit in the same seat on the plane.
And they
Okay.
don't.
But Quad was in the seat next to your teeth because I believe the teeth flew in the middle row because Simone might have wanted to lay her head and go to sleep. But she came with you to find your little daddy when he was missing.
Mm-hmm.
Toya wasn't there with you, love. It wasn't your good Judy, Toya. And let's be clear. How many times have you called Toya stupid? But the fact of the matter is, she's beefing with Quad, so now y'all cool. Toya, you mad at people for talking about you moving, but bitch, you move like a nomad. If you walk
You
like
do.
a nomad, live like a nomad, act like a nomad, it's a nomad.
And the reason why you got so upset at my girl last season, was it Audra? The reason why you got so upset with her last season is because she let it be known that, Miss Girl, you got tax liens on you. And in the state of Georgia and in Fulton County, the only way to see those tax liens is when they are resolved. Unless you are a lawyer and you have access to the database. You did. I don't know how. Okay, last time I looked this up, and this was like last year when this was going on. Google said you make like $100,000 an episode. I said I don't know if that's true, but let's go off of her making $100,000 an episode. If you are doing 16 episodes and then you get bonuses, if you get a 16 episode regular season and then episode 17 and 18 of the season are the reunions, if there's a part 1 and a part 2, hell, it could be a part 3. Before the reunion and before taxes, you clear $1.6 million before taxes if you were actually making $100,000 an episode. So once you pay the taxes on that money and then you get your bonus from the reunions, how is it that you don't have enough, other than the fact that your spending habits and the spending habits of your husband have to be absolutely out of control, to the point where y'all are moving every single year. Y'all move like nomads. Y'all have no roots set down. And really, I'm gonna be honest, somebody should look into the whole address situation when it comes to them kids going to school, because y'all keep moving around, but somehow, some way, them kids is still in the same school.
They go
Make
to
it make
private school.
sense.
It don't matter.
Oh, well, good for them. In
It don't matter
private,
in private school. You can
okay,
live wherever, long as your
okay, well,
parents
you're in
bring you.
private school and
It
you
don't
can
matter in
live
private school.
wherever. But I'm still trying to question, how are y'all having tax issues and how are y'all having home issues if you are clearing, allegedly, potentially, $1.6 million before taxes, because you're in almost every single episode? How is that a problem? Like, do you not put stuff away? Do you not know how to budget? Like, what is going on? And Kimmy Nicole wants to know, is your sister still raising your children? Because that's what they had heard down there, that your sister be taking care of the kids and that you have a nanny. Yes, that's what they had heard, that your sister and the nanny take care of them kids. People keep saying, well, what does Quad have that Toya needs to be jealous of? Well, me and Mother
A
Feisty
single
and
woman
once,
lifestyle, and she can get big dick
yes,
whenever she wants to, because Toya stuck with a miniature.
not even that. It's the fact that Toya is jealous. She would be jealous of anybody. She would be jealous of Barb. Barb can move around like she wants to. I can move around like I want to. There's no one tying me at home and telling me that I can't go here and I can't go there and I can't do this and I can't go travel here. Quad doesn't have those parameters set on her. Barb be taking vacations.
I need one right now.
I'd be jealous of the vacation Barb be on. Barb, first of all, I got a problem with you going to Mexico and not bringing me the tequila, but I digress.
Girl, get over it, girl. My
No,
sister had drank the tequila.
no,
I
no.
did.
Toya is upset with any person
You just
in the
owe me
whole
2
wide
tequila
world,
shots when we
and
get
she
to New
may be
Orleans. Just know.
upset with Jackie as well, because they don't have anybody at home making them stay and making them have to be there and be responsible for someone else, and they can operate in the space that they want to, as in, I get to go do whatever I want.
You addicted now, huh?
That's the issue.
Well, I love y'all.
Love you too. I know we gotta go. My son's sitting up here talking about when we go to New Orleans. Are we going in a car? And
Oh,
I'm
babe, I'm
like,
about to go
yes.
eat. This
Why
was
you wanted to
fun.
fly? And he was like, yes. I'm like, you're addicted to flying now, huh? It's like, yes.
Barb,
You're fast and you ain't got
Barb, I just
Barb,
want to
are
say
you cool?
one thing
Go
before I
ahead.
go and feed my face. I think somebody misses YouTube. Okay, bye guys.
Somebody got a new laptop.
She was talking about me. She said she thinks somebody misses YouTube because I haven't made any videos.
Oh, she said YouTube. I thought she said YouTube.
Somebody
YouTube.
also got a new
I don't gotta miss
laptop.
YouTube,
Barb,
Feisty.
Barb,
I
are
mean, I
you
had to
going
get
live?
it. Like, how y'all want me to make videos with a raggedy phone that was, I couldn't do nothing, and I had broke my laptop. So now I got my
Barb,
stuff back together. Okay, get off
Barb,
my
I have a
back.
Work
question.
on it.
Are you
Y'all
going
listen
live?
to
Are
me.
you going live for Potomac tomorrow?
Yeah, because I gotta go right now, so I'm gonna have to do it tomorrow morning.
I'll be here because I got words for Roger Bob.
Oh yes.
I'll drop the link. We can chat.
What time you
See you
going live
later.
tomorrow, girl? I hope this is during my work time because I'm gonna have to be hoarse or something. I'm gonna have to not be able to talk to people.
Yeah, what time you going live? I'm gonna do a little bango tomorrow. A little holiday bango. Nothing too
We gotta
much.
do Salt Lake City too, so probably. But I'll try to do it. Later. Maybe.
It don't matter. I'll be here. You know.
Figure it out.
I'll be here. Okay.
Bye, sister. I love you.
Bye. Bye,
You guys
cuz.
too. All right. Bye. Well, y'all heard it. We had a lot to say. Shout out to my family for coming up here and giving y'all the real rundown of everything. The show is still good. We still like the show, but we need y'all to keep it real and not just jump in the story in the middle. So yeah. Please make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you have your post notifications on. Make sure you share me. Make sure you all the stuff. Let's keep this conversation going even more in the comments, y'all. And y'all will see my face tomorrow a couple times. And we're gonna talk about some stuff then. But I appreciate you all for being here, for real. Like y'all don't even know. And also, this is not supposed to be a white Santa on my shirt. It's pink. So, and y'all know I love pink. So just had to throw that out there because I don't need nobody thinking that I'm over here repping white Santas or anything like that. Anyway, I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. And I will see you guys later. Bye.